YouTube, as it's about that time. I didn't post on Blue Sky. God bless America. I forget every time. Hold on. Okay, sick. There we go. Yeah, I'm average American man. I like bad game RuneScape. All right. Hey, everybody, welcome on in. We're here to talk a little shit about some games. And let's just get right to it. Yeah, this is like the third series of these. It's taken more time than I thought it would, but you know, it's gonna turn into like a 3-hour script at this point, which, hey, you know what? Maybe YouTube's into it. But let's start with Fantasia for the Sega Genesis.
Fantasia.
Fantasia for the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis!
Yeah, let me go ahead and screen share so you can enjoy the visuals and be reminded of like what game I'm talking about as I am doing for chat. I know this one's like Fantasia. You know Fantasia for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I mean, I think the first thing up front, worst bits, the music. Jesus Christ, the music. Oh my God.
It's incredibly BBT.
Yeah, the music, Jesus Christ, the music. It is outrageously bad. Let me go ahead and get my formatting correct. Okay. Under no circumstances am I here to back Disney in general, but holy smokes, Fantasia had music. That, like, the whole thing. This game's music is awful. Truly from bad to worse. There are zero good tracks. Everything is super grating. I think this is part of it too, is like, since you end up repeating these areas, they kind of do this thing where like every first and third note in the 4/4 signature gets emphasized like really hard all the time. And if your brain ever slides and locks into that for like a second, like in this case where it's like bum ba-dum 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 ba-dum, and it just like does it really, really hard. Switch Game, thank you for the donation. Yeah, that is like the good of this game. Insufferable for everyone. Yeah, too short of loops, bad loops, holy smokes. Like, this game is really the game that gives the most competition to RoadRunner for having the worst OST. Because, like, if Fantasia didn't exist, I think RoadRunner would just have it free. But Fantasia truly hits the ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Yeah, gameplay is horrendous. Jumps feel terrible. Enemy hitboxes were programmed by random chance. Okay, before I forget, Canine Advantix mentioned? Hey, that's something. It reminds me of that commercial where the dogs talked.
Fantasia asianesti lault nivilanttelistin
God, yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I see what you mean when you mentioned like sort of every like fourth is just like
They have so many things, and like, so part of the reason the human element is so important in music is because humans don't play instruments exactly the same way every time. There's like small little differences that you can pick up on. It's the reason why like a synthesized guitar going dun 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 sounds like way cheesier than an actual musician grinding that out, because they're hitting the strings at different angles, they're strumming for slightly different amounts of time, and like there is a precision to it, and the precision is impressive, but a lot of what's impressive is how much precision there is with still having that little like human element of imperfection in it, right? Gene Hoglan was incredible on drums because he was like hyper accurate over like 200 BPM, but like hyper accurate didn't mean machine perfection, right? And like the ear can kind of tell. The human brain is really good at that. Like if it picks up things that are like unnaturally perfect, it makes you a little sick, you know?
Yep, same with the eyes.
Yeah, enemy hitboxes were programmed by random chance. They are all over the place. You have limited ammunition, and even a baby level 1 Goomba takes like 2 shots. Ass. it's so ass. Like there's a button to blow 3 charges at once. Hilariously easy to do on purpose. Just bottoms you out instantly. The number of times I would switch to this game, press what I assumed was going to be the jump button, and instead I just fired off the big bolt, and then had no ammo. It just was fully ammo-less for like the next like 2 stages. It was like, great, I love this. You need to hold down on the D-pad to damage enemies while jumping. There is literally no reason you would not always want to be in this state. It's wildly unnecessary and doesn't even have a frame of animation. That's right. It looks exactly the same as a regular jump, but it does damage instead of hurting you. Cool. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A thing I started doing pretty early and like had to do all the time was anytime I jumped, I was holding either down, back, down, or down, forward. Like always. Like it was just like a reflexive thing I had to do every single time I jumped. Because yeah, there's no downside. Like you just want to be in the can hurt enemies without getting hit state. It's like so not a difference that literally there's no animation change.
Yeah.
Jesus
So
Christ, this level's music.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a holdover from some of the other like Mickey Mouse games like Land of Illusion and everything, where you had like the butt stomp, but it had like a purpose for you actually doing it, because you didn't just do it off enemies. You did it off like blocks and things to get extra height.
Or
I'm wondering if it's
Scrooge McDuck game also did that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it would almost be shocking if it wasn't like conceptually some kind of like weird holdover.
Yeah. It's just implemented incredibly wrong though.
Yeah, random baffling teleports. Last level is just unhinged difficulty. There's stuff flying all over the place. Oh shit, I almost forgot the best part. Wowie, how I almost let this one slide. Oh, not so fast, Fantasia. Minimum score requirements to finish a level. What are they? Say it with me. Guess, white boy, guess. You just have to have like a certain amount of score when you finish a level, or else it just teleports you back to the beginning of the level. Yep. There was a time where I finished a level and I apparently just like didn't have enough score and it just put me back at the beginning. And like you keep your score, I guess, so like it's really unlikely you don't get through in 2 unless you're like pretty intentionally avoiding points. That being said, wow. Yeah, the second stage I got blasted, which is great. Man. Rough stuff. Other good thing. It made the Disney family mad. That's based. Everything else about it sucks. But it did make Disney mad. And that, to me, is upside. So, like, keep it up. keep it up, Fantasia. Oh, man. This is another one of those games that's, like, part of the reason I'm not terribly interested in like ranking how bad they are, because this game's terrible, and it's like terrible on multiple axes. Like it's terrible in that it's feels bad to play, unclear goals, really bad hitboxes, all that stuff. And it's also just agonizingly boring. Like the things you interact with are all the same, literally all the same. They might like float in different ways. They might swing by you in crazy paths. They might like move in a weird sine wave pattern that doesn't make sense. Like this isn't even written up here, but like the platforms in this game move in crazy ways where like they'll fly over to you at 35 miles an hour and then stay perfectly still for 3 frames, and then go backwards at 10 miles an hour for like a third of the way, and then go 60. So it's just like really wild movement on these platforms. Like if you thought it was just randomly wiggling, I would not blame you, because damn, it's close. Damn, it is so close. Yeah, also that is something we should write. Pretty wild Vend. I think the Vend in this game is like pretty standout, because it's like building up to you fighting the big Satan boss or whatever. And yeah, then you just don't. Like you just don't.
Yeah, I forgot that Satan was actually like the main part of Fantasia.
Yeah. Like Mickey fucked up so bad. So I don't think this counts as teleport maze. It's definitely collect the nuggies, just a wild assortment, and it's definitely uncertain win con. I think I'm not gonna give it teleport maze, just because progress pretty universally was go through the area until you hit the very end of the area. And then anything you ran into before then, like, was like a bonus zone, I say, even though it's not a bonus, because like you had to get a certain score, so it's just like mandatory by an unclear amount. Which is crazy, right? Like that's
yeah, no.
Oh man. Yeah, it's got stuff like that where you've got like semi-mandatory bonuses, which are in fact like a huge bummer. All right, let me get the next game up here. Next, let us discuss.
God, the Yakuza soundtrack fucking rips.
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. Okay, I know which one I want to talk about. Dragging over the egg and hearing Dubs laugh.
The fakest game.
Yeah. Immediately. Gotta add that as one of the real banger highlights of Eggs of Steel is whenever you roll on the ground and your character goes, ooh! It's like so crazy.
Welcome to Eggs of Steel.
Thanks.
Ooh. I feel welcome.
I think that's pretty upfront. I want to say the good things. This game is like a little weirdly charming in the ways it's fucked up. It's like very unique in the ways it's fucked up, which makes it like fascinating to behold. There's like a lot to be said for. I think I can count the number of games that look like this on like one hand, really.
Yeah.
Okay, now worst bits. Audio is by and large pretty horrendous. An endless hellscape of repeated voice lines, nonsense stock sound assets mixed to 100% overlapping 5 times. Things of this nature. There's a lot of like random parts where an explosion will happen, but 3 explosions will happen at the same time, and it plays all 3 of them at the same time, which is no good. If you've ever played fighting games when there was like really old versions of rollback, where it didn't do sound handling correctly, so it would occasionally like play the same moves audio file like 3 times, it is unbelievably loud. And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of constant intruder, like this. A lot of slide whistles going on, stock explosions. It's like a lot, and the music is really bad. The music's really like the music of Eggs of Steel definitely qualifies as rinky-dink to me.
Yeah. Yeah, just an overwhelming soundscape.
Yeah, so this game is largely about doing platforming on an isometric field with fully 2D assets, like moving sprites around in pre-rendered images with theoretical space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Mario RPG super fan. This stinks. this still really stinks. Oh brother, it stinks. Like the way the camera is lined up, like never feels about right. The way you move is just exactly wrong. How do I put into words? It's like hard to say because you like move too slow when you're not rolling, and then you move too fast when you are rolling.
It's just sticky.
Yeah. Unclear platforming. Sorry, the long play just ate shit. That was awesome. Unclear platforming. The entire game is a bunch of mazes, more or less. You have to collect punch clocks to progress. In theory, this is very similar to Mario 64, requesting you get a certain number of stars, which is reasonable. In practice, you accidentally go through one half of a level, get told, not here, dummy, and then go back. Like, that's the big thing, is like, since there's no real great indicator and the map is not a map, it's just like a series of straight lines connecting dots to give you an idea of like what is adjacent to what. It's not like a map. You will just waltz over to the ending, and for some reason, instead of like, you know how Mario 64 in the opening area, like you walk upstairs and go to the left and the door goes, "You can't come in here." What if instead it did let you go in there, you could do half of the level, and then when you went to the second half of Bowser 1, it would say, "You can't come in here," and then you had to manually walk back out. That's this game. That's what this game does. So, that stinks. And yo, thank you for the resubs, thank you for the resubs. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it's September for a little bit longer. If you want to get a new sub or upgrade a sub to a higher tier, or, and this is the big value proposition that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, renew a sub for multiple months. So if you want to go from only subbing for 1 month to subbing for like 6 months, hey, if you've been here for 60 months, it's not a terrible idea. It's a pretty big discount. Like, it already is discounted, and it's discounted even more for September. Well, what else do we got?
Oh, back to the start of this boss, huh?
Yeah, boss fights are, that's actually a good point. Boss fights are functionally all auto-scrollers. The closest thing you have to one that isn't an auto-scroller is the one where you have to, like, walk over, touch a button, load yourself into a cannon, fire it, and like, that's it. And it's still just like, do 3 scripted actions a bunch of times in a row. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing too, is when Metroidvanias do the whole like, you have to come back here later and make you walk out, it's because like you need a new power-up. And like, for the record, I hate that shit in Metroidvanias too. Like, I think that shit stinks whenever it shows up. I think part of the reason Super Metroid wasn't a big hit in Japan when it released was because they didn't want to deal with that shit either. But like, especially in this game, because it's not like you're getting hyped for a new thing. You walk up and you get a cutscene read to you by like the PR girl who worked at the office, who's like, "The egg must get all 9 punch clocks before he can proceed to the next area." Very bad reads. Very bad reads kind of across the board. I think the other thing is just like, fundamentally not interesting gameplay. There's like nothing here that hadn't been done better by 1,000 other games before it. The only thing it has going for it is like the kind of weird aesthetics. But a lot of the problems of the game kind of, you know, stem from those aesthetics and the insistence on showing them to you. Like right here where you have a big break where you sit still and a guy goes, and you just have to sit there and wait. Intruder. And the worst part is, it's generally bad to roll around, which is the game's one speed mechanic. You roll at like 800% speed, which is awesome, but also 800% speed in a game where you can just fall off any ledge and die instantly. Man, not getting to roll sucks because it's fun and funny and makes the egg man go hoo 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 hoo. The good. Hoo 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 hoo. God, the boss fights are jump, throw, jump and throw, jump. Yeah, you might have to ride the thing. Yeah, so, yeah. It's just, like, largely a very boring game at the end of the day. There's, like, a heat mechanic, but it's just, like, totally irrelevant. Like, I think it never came up when we were playing the game. I think maybe once the meter flashed red, and I went, oh god, right, that's a mechanic in this game. Which is, like, probably better, because otherwise, what the game was doing conceptually, and I'm sure there's, you know, earlier examples of the whole, like, needing to run between checkpoints really quickly and having, like, a limited time and being punished if you take too long going between checkpoints. I think of the Gears of War, where at night you would need to run from, like, street light to street light so that the nasty bats didn't come kill you instantly. The game was, like, trying to do one of those where you had to run between the fans to, like, cool yourself off constantly. And man, it just doesn't feel good in general. Oh, there is one more good thing. Eggs of Steel is a joke about nuts, balls, testicles, cojones, family jewels, huevos. Okay, running out of ways to say nuts. But yeah.
BOLLOX. If you need a spelling.
Oh, bollocks! Yeah. Sorry about the bollocks. Rocky Mountain oysters are a very specific balls. That's not just anyone's balls. That's a specific animal's balls being prepared for culinary purposes. Those are very specific nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I think that's about what I gotta say about Eggs of Steel. It was just really boring to play. Once the charm of the cutscenes and the goofiness kind of wore off, it really overstayed its welcome in, like, no time at all. The segments where you were, like, surfing through lava also just really sucked a fat one. Really awkward, like, you're going away from the camera, but you're, like, progressing at a very awkward speed, so you have to, like, jump. I think it's like I needed to jump later than I expected. It didn't feel correct because, like, you were, like, hanging in the air for a weirdly long period of time. Yeah, just largely unpleasant to play. If it didn't look as goofy as it did, it almost certainly would not have been on the wheel, for account of being just another one of those platformers, you know? Great. Well, that was Eggs of Steel. Let me pull up the next game. Is that right? Hold on, I'm looking at a piece of paper here that says we never talked about Hugo. How is that true? How is that true?
How?
Hasn't come up on the list yet, I suppose. Okay. A little bit more juggling here. Hugo PSX long play. Oh, está Hugo! Thank you, World of Long Plays. I can't wait to see what it looks like when a top 1% gamer plays Hugo.
I'll go.
Hugo would. Oh, come on, fuck a guy. All right. Hugo. Man. Worst bits. Controls like absolute dog shit, man. Like, it's insane. Built off of the framework of a game people would play by calling in with a touch tone phone and sending instructions via dialing. it still feels like that, even when you're using a controller and running it locally. Honestly, impressive stuff. Like, kind of unbelievable that they made it feel like that.
Once upon a time, there was a
The
troll
first
family
remake of a
who
phone
lived in
game?
a snail house deep, deep inside the troll forest.
Oh,
Hugo the troll
and
and
these.
his wife, Hugolina, were relaxing, for they had been trolling around all day. Their 3 children, however, were outside playing a game of round.
That's my opinion. Hugo is hideous. I hate Hugo. I hate looking at him. I hate looking at his family. Do not besmirch my vision, you terrible
ball
garbage
landed on the
trolls.
far side of the
I
field.
hate everything about Hugo's design.
Is a rotten blueberry.
Look at this! Look at this! It's so bad! It's so bad! Like, I don't know how this got anywhere, man. Like, not... Ooh, like, you know how there was that study of, like, what makes, like, a character design more inherently cute, more chibis or chibis, depending on your region, but, Hugo is, like, the antithesis of that.
Your own evil will undo you.
Oh god, he's also fucking annoying. Hugo is fucking annoying. I needed to add that into. Also, Hugo sucks. Hugo's a piece of shit. He's annoying. I hate him. He talks shit at me.
It's up to you to help him overcome the many dangers which now lie ahead on his journey to Scylla's sinister skull cave.
Every stage is an auto scroller that ranges from bad to worse. They added in a home version of the game that lets you increase or decrease Hugo's speed. They made absolutely no changes to accommodate this, so it's all downside. Like, the game is fully planned and programmed around the 1 speed Hugo moves, and then they're like, you can make him go faster, and everyone's like, what? Why? Oh, thank you for the resub for 104. Holy shit. Log writing games bullshit. I don't think I've seen anyone finish it. I finished it. It's not good. It's not good. The big thing about the log writing game is the hitboxes are outrageously strange. You're like going straight forward and there's items like isometrically coming at you. But they're, again, it's flat sprites representing 3D objects coming at you through a pseudo 3D space. So like your ability to judge where they are is like borderline impossible, because it's like it's just floating there, and it could be very far forward of where you think it is, or it could be very far back from where you think it is. And honestly, I don't even know if they're consistent between like the same sprite. Like if the exact same branch shows up twice, I don't know if the hitbox would be the same. Yeah, load times are really bad. This game loads so much and for so long, it's brutal. Hugo stares you down so much.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was about to mention this.
It feels really weird and bad. Like, this is one of those, like, kind of intangible complaints where a lot of what I'm talking about is, like, you know, level design or mechanic design, or, like, what kind of play patterns are you incentivizing with your mechanics? Things of this nature. This is just like a visceral, like, gut reaction. I don't like this. Like, it's not like mathematically worse than if Hugo was looking forward, but I don't like it, and I wish he didn't do that. I wish he didn't look at me so much. Yeah, every game is bad. Some of the worst hitboxes, jumps, momentum. Oh man. You'll end up in a ton of situations that look completely unwinnable, but are due to sprite fuckery. Like, there are times where without the, you know, speed up, slow down Hugo mode, where there will be like 2 of those wood spring launcher traps, and there's like a 3-inch gap between them. And if you're playing the game according to like the way you would assume, there's no way to not land on one of them. Because you can't jump far enough to clear both. And what it is you have to jump and land directly between the 2 of them, with the exact center of Hugo, with your Hugo center of mass. Because if you overshoot it or undershoot it, you get launched into space. So you essentially have to just like stick a very tight jump and then jump again as close to instantly as you can pull off.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like any positive things about Hugo.
For like everything that's bad about it, it's over sort of quickly, I guess.
No, I've already
short.
ground ruled that a game being short cannot be counted. And the reasoning is this, and I think most people agree when they hear it.
Yeah.
If the game being short is not good on the merits of the game, it's good on the merits of the rest of my life is better than the game. And the game doesn't get credit for the rest of my life. That's horseshit. Yeah, like
Okay.
my life gets the credit for that. Sorry, Hugo. God, because like the animation is so ugly and the hitboxes are so bad and the load times are so bad. Like, I know I don't have to put the good for all of them, but I'm like really struggling of any. Yeah, no, I think this one just gets a blank the good. Congratulations, Hugo. You received the award of the good being a blank, which I will be sure in the video to just stand there, say the good, and stand there for a second, and then cut to the next game. Classic bit, everyone loves it. It goes crazy hard every time. Yeah, this is World of Long Plays. They are not afraid to use like cheats and re-records and stuff. Interesting idea of phone game on TV. Sometimes you have an idea that's theoretically a cool later idea, but it's so far removed from it that it's like, you should have seen it wasn't a good idea yet. And I think that falls into that category. It's like similar to like the Virtual Boy, right? And I think there already
made
were
to
like
extract money.
And there already were like call-in shows. It's just usually it'd be like people voting, right? Yo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's pull up our next game here.
Get this disgusting creature off the screen.
God, I like don't want to pull up another game because it means I have to stop listening to the Yakuza 0 OST for a second, which is like a bummer. Okay, I think we talked about Rascal already. Let me double check. Yes. Okay, let me find. You know what? We didn't talk about this one. We talked about the other Star Wars game.
what was the like the second Star Wars game? Because I know you had the one on the Game Boy Advance.
Star Wars Masters of Teras Kasi.
Oh yeah, the one with Thok.
That's right. Yeah. Wow. So there fairly recently was a post on Blue Sky that I made of, hey everybody, did you hear the new fighting game says it's going to be, you know, approachable for newcomers, but also have depth that longtime hardcore fans crave. And then posted the part of the Marvel Tokon Souls Wikipedia page where it says that essentially verbatim. For anyone who never for anyone who hasn't been in the fighting game community for a long time, this is like a running meme at this point of literally every modern game I say modern. Street Fighter 4 was being pushed as that, where they were like, it has a simplified controls overall that make it more approachable for newcomers while still having the depth that experts crave. And like that has been a thing for so long now. And I just posted about that. And there's a quote repost of it that was like real good of they should make a game that's completely unapproachable for beginners and has no depth whatsoever. Star Wars Masters of Teras Kasi. Well, anyway, so Star Wars Masters of Teras Kasi has to be it might be the worst feeling fighting game on the list. I don't know if it's the worst because there's stuff like Slaughter Sport in here. Man, it really feels so bad. Holy smokes. Terrible feeling fighting game. Moves are just abysmal. Feels very flaily. Man. Like, it, more than most games I've played, truly feels like your only option is just kind of send shit and hope it works out.
Oh god. Ooh,
Yeah.
ow.
A lot of canned combo sequences that often don't work. Using weapons is a nightmare. Also, that's all the audio you get of this game because it always gets claimed. Star Wars, baby. Using weapons is a nightmare. Almost all of the guns pretty bad. The worst blend of Virtua Fighter and Soul Calibur that has ever been made. And because I think that is what this game is trying to do. It's trying to hit a space between Soul Calibur, which is like more of a kind of traditional free movement 3D game where like you hold the block button and you can run around and you get these like big swingy moves, but in exchange your movement is like quite good and you have like a good amount of like, you can space people out, you can do all sorts of stuff, and ring outs do exist in both, but they're like, you know, different levels of threat between the two of them. And Virtua Fighter is the much more, you are functionally playing a 2D fighter like 99% of the time, but then there will be times where you use like evasion and stuff like that, you know, has a 3D aspect to it. But like very rarely are you like running around in Virtua Fighter in the same way that you are in Soul Calibur quite often. And it just really is the worst of all of them. So many knockdowns that last for so long. I don't think I've ever had a game before where I was like annoyed by how much shit knocked down. I think that's part of my inherent anime player nature, right? Because like Dragon Ball Fighters, my first fighting game that I like took really seriously and competed in, is like you fight hard for the good knockdown, and the good knockdown is your reward. So the idea of someone like me complaining that there's too many knockdowns, unbelievable. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the moves in this game. They're like really lame. They're just really like, it's like, oh yeah, Luke throws the saber and it comes back eventually. Yeah, there it goes. Whoa. Whoa. It gets copyright claimed on YouTube. Fuck you. That's more of a personal one, but fuck you, man. You put it in the video game. Hold that shit. It's a very, very dry fighting game. In all honesty, would not put it on the wheel again. Just kind of bland. I think that was really the big thing is there were some fighting games in here that were like bad in crazy ways that you would not believe, like Time Killers and Slaughter Sport and shit. And those ones were like, holy fuck. Or like Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu, where you're just like, why did they build a fighting game off the legacy of Goku engine? What did they get in that office? Like, what were they doing over there? This one really is just so goddamn dry. It really, to me, feels like a tie-in fighter, derogatory. Like, it's just really, really boring. Ugh. Now I'm thinking about Hunter x Hunter None Impact again.
It's weird how, I don't know, LucasArts never made a fighting game in their lives.
Did they?
No, they didn't. They've never. This is the only fighting game they've ever made.
That makes sense. The good. It would appear they learned their lesson. No, that's features beloved character Whore. I think that's pretty good. They got a guy named Whore. That's something. No, it's Hunter x Hunter None Impact is what most people call it now. Which, the Hunter x Hunter fighter sucks. It's beyond ass. The big thing about it isn't just that it's like, the reason that it became Hunter x Hunter None Impact immediately was as soon as they announced it was full price, it was over. It was so fucking over. Like, there were so many things that game could have weathered. Because, like, a game in the fighting game community can be fucking whack, but if it's really fun and it has good net play, we don't give a shit, right? Like, that's the thing. By all modern metrics, Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo is a garbage game, right? Like, according to what most people like evaluate game balance and design by, it would not do well according to modern metrics. And yet, it's fun as fuck and people still fucking play it. Because it's fun as hell and there's like good ass net play available. So like, who gives a shit? Go have fun with the homies. Yeah, like, people think there's like this beautiful bell curve of like just not like thinking like Street Fighter 2 is like a messy button mashing game to thinking like Street Fighter 2 is like the pinnacle of footsies or whatever when you're in the middle, and then you go off the other end and you're like, it's a nightmare game. Things like you stab somebody in the chest and then you wall cling behind them and then they have to guess, and that's their life. Yeah. ST is a garbage game. I notarized this statement as an ST player. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, when I play Plus R, half the time is me spent saying, fuck this game, and like having the most fun I've had in a month. That's like...
Sidewinders, man. Come on.
Oh my god. It's so dumb. It's so good. Oh, man.
I think just to add in the bad, like sort of knowing that they did a decent Darth Vader in another fighting game later on just makes this sting even more.
Yeah. And then so other stuff that's gone on in Hunter x Hunter None Impact was, so first of all, the game was looking pretty janky. It was looking like there was going to be a lot of like wild infinites and shit at release, which there were. And again, that's like, that could be whatever. A game could be. Marvel 3 is a crazy game, man. Like, anyone who sees Marvel 3 like Ultimate Zero and is like, that's fine. Is like, just doesn't know what they're talking about. But it's like really fun and really wild, and it has, you know, characters people love. So like Hunter x Hunter should have been, but man, it released overpriced. The net play wasn't very good. Everything is like, characters are all hysterically broken. The thing that came out recently, though, that was like the nail in the coffin for that game, unless they do some very strong and serious balance adjustments very shortly, people have found guaranteed 300% combos. Now you might say, what is a 300% combo? Because you're a normal human being and go, but 100% kills a whole guy, so why would you need 300%? Well, it's a guaranteed incoming. Which means you touch their first guy once, kill him, and then the next character comes in and they get immediately guaranteed into an unblockable, which means there's nothing they can do. They come in, they're locked down, and they get hit. You then kill that character. Then the next one comes in and you do the same thing again. So you get touched once, and then you have no interaction window and get to hang out for like a minute and a half while your whole team dies.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but like with worse defensive options. Yeah. I mean, I've seen 300% combos in games, but again, usually it's a game that's like cheaper, a little more messed up on its face, like Power Rangers Battle for the Grid had them occasionally. In that game, the X Factor equivalent, like the super mode you could activate once per match, was summoning a Megazord, and it was like so sick and like such a cool mechanic, but they were so fucking broken. They were all so strong. But it was like cool and it was really fun. The only one that was like straight up a problem was the SPD one, the one that had one of its moves was it would slam like giant electricity handcuffs across the field. And it was just unblockable, which meant you once again could completely light them up off of that. Yeah, most tag fighters don't reset to neutral. That's like actually a pretty rare thing, and something that was like pretty heavily complained about when Dragon Ball FighterZ first came out. People were like, God, this game takes so fucking long and you reset to neutral every time. That's because they were used to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where like at the highest echelons of play, sometimes a match is you jump forward, your opponent who's playing Nova jumps straight up, air throws you, and then you just pause and go back to character select, and you go, yeah, you got me. Like, oh, very funny, very funny, very funny. Yeah, that clip is unbelievable. It's like perfection. But yeah, so Hunter x Hunter, it's kind of a case of everybody is too messed up in too easy of ways. There's a lot of like how much execution matters in fighting games, and the correct answer, I'll just tell you, this isn't a secret. A lot of fighting games are allowed to exist at the same time, and so there should be some that require you to have huge execution to get huge reward, and there can also be ones where the super high reward stuff isn't super execution intensive. They can both exist. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, HNK still exists. You know, that's a game that requires you to have insane execution to like do anything. But then as soon as you can do anything, you can instantly kill your opponent. Yeah, no fighting game execution is ridiculous as Rocket League. Not even close. Nope. Sorry, no. Fighting game shit I've seen is unhinged. People hitting a 1/60th of a frame window 25 times in a row. Like, stuff like that. I'm just like, holy shit. And doing it in a tournament setting, man. Oh, did you get the Nova clip? Fuck yeah, let me...
Who the fuck is Jodo Cast? Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah. Looks like, let me find this.
Soul that man. God damn, I need to keep an eye on the score. Shit.
Yeah, and that's like pretty accurate too for what it's worth. The best part is I don't even know if this is the clip I was thinking of. I think it just has happened multiple times. Oh man. Oh god. Yeah, frame perfect inputs with variable timings are just like something else entirely. Like I was playing Plus R recently, and I was playing Zerd recently. I've been playing a bunch of Guilty Gear, and I got so much better at doing Accent Core Plus R Sidewinder loops, despite the fact that I hadn't played the game in over a year. It's just... It pushes into vibes based because it is so difficult. It is so difficult to do that people just kind of are like, I don't know, man, you gotta get a feel for it. And they are regrettably right. Like, to do perfect Sidewinder stuff just requires you to be doing that shit for like months and months and months, and just to get a feel for where it's right, man. It's something else. Yeah, he got grabbed and then instantly conceded the match, because if you get air thrown by Nova, that means you're taking a combo that kills your first character and puts you in the corner. And when you're playing a first to 25, a first to 50, one of those longer sets, at some point you gotta say, is this worth my mental stamina, or do I just say we go to the next one? And that's what, as soon as he got grabbed by Nova, he just paused and said next match. Because like, especially when you're playing longer sets like this, defense is hugely mentally taxing. Like, blocking high-lows in Marvel, hellacious. You're burning calories at an unprecedented rates. If the chess master that like lost 2 pounds playing one game of chess played Marvel 3, he would die of starvation in an hour. Like, that kind of shit. So you really gotta be willing to just say like, nope. Nope, absolutely. A 2v3 with the 3 having full health and you having an incoming mix-up. So it's like worse than that, because they also get mixed on incoming. And like, you have defensive options in Marvel 3 where you can do like push blocks on incoming, stuff like that. If your character has an airborne reversal or super, you can try that kind of stuff. But it still is just like such a bad situation. Like, the risk reward is like 90% favored. Not for you. Not for you. If somebody hit me with that, I'd say do the whole thing. Again, this is a first to 25 or a first to 50, and this is 1 hour and 4 minutes into 1 hour and 6 minutes. You know. You know if they can do it. When you've played against the same person 300 fucking times back to back, you just know they can do it. There's a reason there's on the Japanese, some of the Japanese HNK machines, like the arcade cabinets at like arcades where they like have a lot more play and have a lot more legacy play. They have a button on the cab that just says I surrender, and it like makes a light flash on the other player's side to indicate it's cool, you can drop the infinite you're doing that's going to take you another 90 seconds and just kill me with a couple heavy attacks and we'll call it Gucci. And that is absolutely like the greatest shit in the universe. Because in particular with HNK, if you're playing against the same fucking Toki player like 30 times in a row and they haven't dropped the B-ball infinite fucking once, you're like, okay, I've got other stuff going on. Let's go to the next match. Yeah, like HNK is the only fighting game that respects your time, but only the version where you can press a button and say next round, please. I mean, HNK as well is like a great example of that, because there's been multiple instances now of players at like the highest levels of competition as a joke, either like pulling out their cell phone and like taking a selfie of themselves getting TOD'd in like semifinals and shit, which is so funny. Or we've also had players like pull out their wallet and like start pulling out like $50 bills and being like, will you drop it for this? Which It's so good. It's so good. Oh, HNK is so funny. Oh. Yeah, HNK is a very funny game. And yeah, eventually you just know your opponent has it. I've hit that point in Battle for the Grid a couple times where like, my favorite Steam message I've ever received for playing a fighting game was because of Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. And the message I received is, after someone rage quit after like 3 games with me, they rage quit after I got an initial hit with Doggy Kruger. And the message they sent to me was, and I quote, "I'm sick of your DreamWorks ass combos." I think about that shit so much, man. Or I was playing against Bobby at one point in Dragon Ball Fighters. And I had a couple of Vegito confirms that I would just use constantly because they like always worked, were really high damage confirms, great corner carry, great knockdown, etc. And there were like a couple tricky delays, but when you've done them 3,000 times, they're not tricky delays anymore. And no, like DreamWorks is in the animation studio, as in they're saying you're just playing another fucking movie again. I don't give a shit. But and what Bobby was just like, oh, reliable here again, huh? I was like, yeah, that's how you know you're getting that consistency, when your opponent goes, fucking again. And especially when it was a Marvel player, I'm like, hell yeah, that means I'm in there. All right.
Yeah, what's next?
Yeah, double checking, have we talked about... Actually, let me just pull up. I have a secondary list here of some that I wanted. Oh, I want to talk about YuYu Hakusho.
Ooh.
For the Game Boy Advance. And let me go ahead and get... Oh, sorry, wrong. I was doing Smile Bomb. They're doing... whatever this is.
Why is there a cash register noise?
Because all I want to do is... and I'm... taking all my bank. It so sucks that lady turned into like a wild anti-vaxxer, and it's like, miss, with all due respect, shut the fuck up and let people enjoy your funny cash register music. Keep it to your goddamn self. Okay, just wanted to start with the good there. Oh, one sec, I'm getting a phone call. I left a review for the Planet Fitness again, because like I do sometimes, and they once again, even though the last review I sent said, do not call me, it's really weird when you call me and get defensive about the reviews. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they were doing, which I will probably continue to say, man, either fix it or shut the fuck up. Yeah, they call you about a review you left. Yeah, because I just sent a review that was like, hey man, it's really hard to get a lift in like most times a day because there just aren't enough Smith machines and there isn't enough weight equipment and there's too much cardio gear. It's literally never even 1/3 full. So like take out half the treadmills, get more Smith machines in. And I've said this like once every 4 months or so, just because I do want them to do it. But yeah, every time they like call back, Yeah, either a Google review or a review like direct through the Planet Fitness. Like they email me and are like, we'd love to have your feedback. And I'm like, okay, don't call me though. And then they call me. I'm probably just gonna block their number next time. Okay, so the worst parts about YuYu Hakusho here.
I mean, we're looking at one of them.
Yeah, YuYu Hakusho for the Game Boy Advance. The worst bits. So much walking, dude. This game is 99% empty. There's so much walking. There's so much walking. Fighting reaches its final form on the first screen. No upgrades you get matter. That's like really such a brutal part of it, is there's so much walking around. And like you're supposed to be getting like cool fighting upgrades or whatever, like Spirit Gun or Spirit Shotgun. But regrettably, it's just so sucks. It's just so sucks. It's, oh my god, it's a lot of walking. Every move is really boring. Like the Spirit Gun is okay, but you just walk up to everybody, punch him 3 times, back up, walk forward, punch him 3 times.
Sorry, that cutscene with the car and everything, that was the... Yeah, incredibly inconsistent art should be added on.
Yeah, true. The thing that's so funny about this is like Yusuke and the child are like straight up just like screenshots from the anime. And then those people in the car behind him. Here, one sec. Let me zoom in for chat wants to watch. Here you go. Look at the fucking car. Look at the people in the car. Absolutely goated, dude. Absolutely goated. Like WarioWare background shit. Absolutely love it. It's really good. Wildly inconsistent art style, which is no bueno given the material it's based on has a great one. Also, YuYu Hakusho has banger tunes. Not represented. Man, after playing this game, I went and listened to like every version of Smile Bomb at least 6 times. And once again, I gotta say, shoutouts to the Portuguese version. That shit hits so good. That shit hits so good. Oh my god. No, but it's not. See, when people say the audio on Game Boy Advance games is terrible, it's usually because there's not enough instrumentation, or the instrumentation is very low quality and it's a lot of sine waves and square waves because there's no excess processing power to work it through, or it's too simple, or this, that, and the other. The problem isn't that the composition is boring and sucks ass. Like, you can still have a piece of music that sounds okay off the Game Boy Advance, you know, despite everything else working against you. You just have to do like a composition that isn't so boring, man. Like, you gotta really, like... You could do good shit on the Game Boy Advance, man. Like, you could do really good stuff on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, well, a big part of that reputation definitely comes from the fact that, as far as I remember, the Game Boy Advance did not have a sound chip on board, or as like part of its construction or part of its hardware. So to do sound, it was generally stealing cycles from the CPU, so you kind of had to choose one way or the other. Yeah, sound was CPU. Yeah. Put anything from Advance Wars up and it'll prove the point. That's true. Advance Wars OST is just so good. I mean, of course, we all know I have a very specific favorite part of it, which is not the full thing, just this piece. I mean, this has to be one of the, like, they managed to make a super activation theme for a tactics game that doesn't get annoying when it lasts an entire turn, which is crazy, because, like, think if, like, the Mario Star theme lasted for 4.5 minutes. You would be so goddamn sick of it. And, like, the superpower, the Super CO theme is awesome. Like, every time you fire it up, you're just like, all right, let's fucking do this, man. Like, it's such a banger. Okay, what else about this game? It's so funny to go back to this after Super CO. Yeah, the music in YuYu Hakusho is normally really good. There's none of that here. They make you swap between characters that do not share levels. Some of them are just kinda strictly worse. Later game is largely isometric mazes with no map. Early on, there are missions of collect my pages, Kuwabara, that involve touching every edge of the map, and the buildings are constantly in the way. Oh, comma, I have to go around. Infinite refrain of YuYu Hakusho. Like, there were so many parts of this game where I just had to go, oh, I guess I have to go around. And I truly had to just go around. Yeah, the game forces you to use certain characters at certain points, on top of everything else, yeah. The pages are Umeshi! Get me the blue pages, but not the red pages! Those are for my dastardly brother! That's right! Me getting the green page and getting ready to turn it in. No, don't do that! No, wait! But yeah, that's kind of all this game has. It's mostly just, I guess, final summary. Walk to point B, press the attack button 3 times, 100 times, walk to point A, press the attack button 3 times, times 100, walk to point B. That's the game. Like, that's really all this game is, kind of front to back, is what, and like, the thing is, I'm not like boiling it down, right? Normally when people are being dismissive when they say shit like this is a walking simulator, or, you know, this, that, the other, they're being like very diminutive, right? And they're ignoring a lot of the other elements, whether they're ignoring the storytelling or the pacing or the atmosphere, the aesthetic, they kind of miss what the game is trying to do. This game, no, really, that's it. Like, that's the whole shebang. It kind of shows you what a game like, you know, Legacy of Goku 1 or 2, or like another one of these, like, kind of, you know, adventure games based on anime, could have played out if it was like just deeply sauceless and had like no mechanics. Yeah, even many of the bosses were that. Yeah, where you just run forward, punch him 3 times, walk back a little bit, turn around, punch him 3 times, over and over and over. Yeah. And yeah, I love to think about YuYu Hakusho. I love talking about YuYu Hakusho, so that was like easily the best part of this game. Every time it came up, I could see people in chat who said, oh, I've never watched YuYu Hakusho. Is it good? And I say, do you want like the original like Shonen Jump anime, like the most Shonen Jump anime about a nasty little guy who goes on cool adventures and meets other nasty little guys who are like secretly kind of nice guys? About as good as it gets. It's a banger. It's a banger. And then I also have to stop myself and go, but stop when you hit. when he's fighting another spirit detective, and that spirit detective, after losing once, puts on some magic armor that makes them redo the final boss of that arc a second time. It's all bad from there. It's all bad from there, and there's a historical good reason for it. It's because that's when they were forcing the mangaka to draw more of it. And by draw more of it, I mean literally the Yakuza chained him to a desk in a hotel and said, you don't leave till the chapter is done. Multiple times. I will say, I think it is. Yeah, this is the same creator who works on Hunter x Hunter now, and it's the agreement and the kind of eternal forgiveness the industry is trying to earn from him at this point is why he's allowed to just take insanely long breaks on stuff and get to like chill on shit and like isn't really hurried by anybody. Has like full creative control, makes his own schedule, all that kind of stuff. Because yeah, they legit like, yeah, actual like real life like Yakuza, not like funny Kazama Kiryu, like actual guys who are just like, we'll kill you if you don't do this. But yeah, that is like a big part of that. So if you do continue to watch the rest of Yu Yu Hakusho after he gets his magic armor and stands back up again, just do it through that lens. And I think it is still interesting to watch. I think there is still value in watching it, but only if you are watching it like as a case study of what happens when the creator clearly wanted to leave and was told at gunpoint, you can't. And that's pretty wild. And yeah, his wife is the mangaka of Sailor Moon as well. Like the ultimate power couple of Japan, truly deeply. Like Sailor Moon in one hand, Hunter x Hunter in the other. Like, holy shit, if one of them made one, if their kid made One Piece, the world would end, you know? But yeah. So that's always why I like talking about Yu Yu Hakusho. Also, it has the best anime opening of its era, like far and away, I think. Smile Bomb rips. Every version of Smile Bomb rips. And the thing is, the different language versions, like, they rewrite it a little bit and they get like a little funky with it to like make it fit their language better. Like, you can always tell it's Smile Bomb. You can always tell that that's what the song you're listening to is, but it is different every time. It's awesome. Check it out. All right, what's our next game here? Yo, thank you for the resub. Bow, 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 bow. We talked about Yu Yu Hakusho. We talked about Fantasia. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about Captain Novalin. That should be a quick one. Captain Novalin's kind of nothing. Captain Novalin's like kind of explicitly very nothing.
Yeah, actually, frankly, yeah. It's just a bad entertainment platformer.
Yeah. I'll just say up front, the good. Diabetes is a great guy. Like, legit, there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and when I think just generically good dude that I could trust to have my back, it's Beatus. Like, every time I've interacted with Beatus has just like been a delight, including when I was a much younger man and had made a terrible mistake and wasn't gonna get to the airport. Diabetes just like pulled out his phone and called me a ride to the airport and was like, don't even worry about it, man. Like, it's just, he's that kind of guy, dude. He's just that kind of guy. Beatus is like legitimately just awesome. Just like that dude.
Wonderfully chill, wonderfully cool guy.
Yeah, just delightful. In case you've ever wondered if, like, because they always say don't meet your heroes or whatever, this, that, the other. It's cool. You can meet Beatus. He's great. If he's a little shy. He probably won't talk to you very much. But if you walk up to him and just like, I love your stuff, he'll probably be like, haha, thanks. And like, he'll mean it. The worst bits. Really outdated information. I think that's like kind of a big problem with the concept of like an education game in general, is like, if it's something about handling a medical condition, that information like changes a lot. Like, the things that have been like, I am not diabetic, but my dad was, he's still alive. My dad is. And I was like, I don't know, why did I say was? Like, he didn't stop being diabetic, he's not dead. Just from the time I remember him first getting his like diagnosis, which was when I was like 6 or 7, till now, both the unbelievable like improvements in management technology and stuff, but also like the understanding of the mechanics of diabetes have like gotten much better. As we get better technology and can look closer at things, we get better information. So yeah, really outdated information. Very nothing platformer. Has the hold down to hit guys thing. You have to collect only one of each pickup or else you're punished. I can't even remember how you get punished, but yeah, they only want you to pick up one apple, one sandwich, one glass of milk, etc. You know? Oh, really long stun animation. Whenever you take a hit, you are stunned for so long. Like, you fall on the ground and wiggle really, really like, your guy like sits on the ground and gets dizzy and like just sits there for an absolutely agonizing period of time. Particularly when you're in the level where you're like riding a speedboat. Extra brutal. Absolutely extra brutal. There is something just kind of inherently humorous about a game designed to teach children about diabetes, because diabetes is like a very serious thing, and a game is like inherently pretty unserious, that kind of thing. Also, like, the information that's wrong in it is funny, and there's like typos and shit. Yeah, I guess like typos. There are typos. They're funny, you know. We all love to say, check your feet. But that is in fact not what the sentence should be in the English language, you know? But yeah, just really nothing going on. And I'm still putting it in the bad, but this game is like notably short. Like, this is legitimately an outlier of how short this game was. Like this was a game that I brought in as a pivot because we had to remove another game that was broken, and I was like, I want to make sure it's at least something that's shitty enough that people will like respect that it's on the wheel. People won't be like, really, you replaced, you know, X with Y? Like, they saw Captain Novalin and they were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, like a full playthrough of the game is like 16 to 20 minutes, which is too short. That is too short. That's too short for a video game. If you paid full money to get your kid a thing that you were like, finally, a thing that speaks directly to my child with diabetes that will help them feel more, you know, normalized in society or whatever. And then they finish it in 16 minutes and go, that sucked. What was that? And you spent, you know, like $40 in 1992 or whatever, aka $6,000 adjusted for inflation. You'd be pretty fucking mad. Yeah, like, yeah, usually platformers, when you're playing kind of casual, or at least like a couple of hours if you play them beginning to the end with no deaths, but Captain Novalin, there's also like so little material that even if you do take some deaths, it's still gonna be roughly the same length. Yeah, this long play is 16 minutes, and it does get to the final boss. Glucagon. They keep saying glucagon, and I think we looked into this at some point during the marathon, and it was just a case of glucagon being like a very old school, like purified, like blood sugar increasing kit. Like it was just like one of those kind of things. Like it's just like legitimately like a oh, how I'm forgetting the name of it. Glucagon. You know what? It's the thing that makes your blood sugar go up when it was about to crash out in a way that's like lethal, but something that's very, very fairly outdated. Glucose. Thank you. We use glucagon in the hospital frequently still. No shit. Okay. I actually wasn't aware if it was still in use or not. Good to know. Not glycerin. That's a different thing. Glycerin is not a sugar. Was it polypropylene glycol? Did you put, were we putting polypropylene glycol in them? No? It causes your liver to release sugar. Oh, okay. It's a body hormone that you inject directly. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, if you injected glycerin for glucose issues, you would just have a glycerin issue at that point, I think. All right, well, short game, short review. That seems reasonable. All right, let me get this one up. Game Boy Advance long play. Very good. Perfect. Maybe. If it plays. It might play.
Oh boy, it's a Mega Man with voice.
There we go. Okay, I think that's like no joke. The thing that makes me the most upset about Mega Man and Bass was like, almost every other game on the wheel, people were willing to just be like, oh yeah, I'll just shut up and watch it for 10 minutes and decide if it deserves to be bad or not. This game, people would just like slam in and be like, you're wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're wrong. I love Bass's design so much. And it's like, that's great, man. did you play the fucking game? And then the answer is, yeah, I played it 6 seconds ago. And it's like, yeah, okay, buddy boy. This game just got it so much worse than all the others on the wheel, dude. Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, there's also, the myth of one character being better than the other. They both are ass. They make a bunch of accommodations to make sure the game is doable as Mega Man. A lot of these end up much better than having a double jump. There were a couple fights in this game where you had to jump up to a very specific height and shoot at a guy and do that kind of stuff. And with Bass, that meant you had to jump in the air and then double jump at the perfect height, and it maybe would work sometimes. But it was like double frame perfect, and or not frame perfect, but it was like very, very tight. And then more importantly, you then didn't have a platform that you could like stand on for safety. So you had to raw dog dodging everything. Whereas Mega Man just got 2 little platforms he could jump on that put him at the exact correct height and also offer him a lot of very safe, consistent defensive options. So it's just like not better for, there's like this thing of like, it's better for base, it's better for Mega Man. It's not, it's really not. it's really, really not. You can fight over which one's better or worse, but it's like a matter of a 2 out of 10 game versus a 1 out of 10 game. Really, really rough. If you had to go to bat for any one game on the wheel, I've already said it, it's Pac-Man 2. I think Pac-Man 2 has like more redeeming qualities and like value in the current era than like almost anything else on here in a crazy way. Yeah, and like, oh man, it's so bad. This game is just so fucking mean. Every step of the way. This is a hatefully designed Mega Man game. Truly the worst level design in the series, and I do not feel it is particularly close. Does things with Yoku blocks I can only describe as only could have been implemented explicitly to piss the player off. Yeah, Yoku blocks are disappearing blocks. So there's a point in this game where they do Yoku blocks. And normally the frustration of Yoku blocks is just like they're very fast to the point that you generally need to know what you're supposed to do as soon as you land on the block. Like, there will be ones where you jump up to a block, and right when you land, you need to jump an additional time so that you go higher, and then a block will spawn underneath you. So like stuff like that, which is already really questionable. What this game does, I still can't fucking believe it. They'll have a series of like, let's say 10 platforms, right? That like appear in order. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9 go backwards a little bit. And then like 10 is a long jump that puts you forwards, that kind of thing. So like you need to follow the entire course, right? Like from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4 to 3 to 5. And then like you can barely make it from 9 to 10 and then from 10 to the exit. So you'll watch the entire sequence and be like, okay, I think I've got it. And then you go for it. And then on the second one, it wasn't done yet. It's actually it's a longer cycle than you think. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it repeats. No, you stupid fucking idiot. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right. They just don't spawn the last block on that one. And if you just got out there, you die. Like, you're just over spikes and you fucking die. Like, you just die for not having like sat there and watched multiple cycles so to confirm that the game doesn't fuck you in the ass for no reason. It's so crazy. Like, the game is so fucking bad. And that's like really really, oh my god. Yeah, people stand up because they like bass. This game is maybe the peak of, like, if they re-released it, it would be like bass super fan excited to play the game for the first time. Like that kind of shit, because holy smokes, dude. It's so fucked up. Grinding for goodies sucks. Like, you have to buy stuff every step of the way. Manual equip, unequip, requiring a full pause sucks. Bass's Buster, Bass's Butter is ass. It does no damage. Bosses go invuln after the first hit, take 1/2 a pip of damage, and then are invuln for 6 to 8 weeks. It's not 6 to 9 weeks. They don't get to be nice. Holy shit. This one, it's so bad. So every single boss, if you want to Buster Duel them, takes 25,000 years with base, because you shoot them once and then you just sit there and wait. Is Astro Man as stupidly OP as in the SNES version? He's worse. he's worse. Because he can be off screen. Also, you're like more zoomed in, so you have slightly less room to work with. It's buns. No E-tanks. Fuck you, Baltimore. Like, there's just no E-tanks. And no, so that's what we were explaining earlier, Dovetail Echo. That's like a really common misconception that people have, that like the double jump makes the game like so much easier for base. No, it's they removed platforms for base to make it harder. It's not that you play through Mega Man and then you play through Mega Man stages, but you have a double jump. No, they bespoke went back and removed shit from base's stages to make it require the double jump. Yeah, it's like not better. it's really not better. Oh, dude. Also, it's on the GBA. It's zoomed in a whole lot. They did zero work to fix this. You get hit by off-screen stuff constantly. You'll lose visual on mini-bosses. Insane for a Mega Man. Like, it's so crazy that you can just not see the boss on screen. In a Mega Man game, it's a one-screen endeavor. That's like the point, is that it's one. It's one. It's one. Is just a depressing cover of an already C-tier Mega Man OST. That's the other thing, is it's like some of the songs on this OST on the Super Nintendo are like fine, like they're okay. I don't think any of them would chart on my top 100 Mega Man songs, which is like a list you could pretty easily make. Honestly, like it wouldn't be terribly hard. There's like a lot of really good music in Mega Man. Oh, is this player about to get hit by it? No, it's a different one. The song playing now is so forgettable. Yeah. Top 10 would all be Mega Man X1. Nah, not for me. Not for me. I think Mega Man X1 would probably have 2. I think it would have 2 in the top 10. But like, damn, there's so many good ones. There's so many good OSTs. Just not X3. Just not X3. X3 stinks. But that's okay. That's because they rushed it out the door and like didn't finish it. Oh, I like, oh yeah, so great example, by the way. Look at the beginning of this fight. Do you see where Astro Man's head is? See how it's cut off by the top of the screen because I didn't crop the video correctly? Just kidding. That's what it actually looks like on the Game Boy Advance. That's exactly what it looks like. That I am not cutting shit off. That's how it rendered. Unbelievable. Like, just fucking Slop City, man. Like, how do you not see the boss's spawn-in animation, see that he's cut off by a third, and go, hey, that's not right. That's no good. That looks like shit. That's Amateur Hour City. What the fuck are we doing? A bunch of upgrades don't work as intended, like, or as described. You'll get a power-up that should let you, like, shoot through floors or shoot through an enemy, and then they'll just, like, they'll make it not work for, like, a certain segment. Oh no, it's even worse than that. So Darkman, it's funny you mention that. Darkman425 in chat on Twitch. Also, the long play showing off the fight without charge shots. That's the boss fight experience without weapons. Would you believe me if I told you that an uncharged shot from Mega Man does 4 times as much damage as Base's shot? It does 2. Base does 1/2. It's so ass. It's so fucking buns. And yeah, the boss rush at the end of this is just like super heinous. Let me see if I can find the tank. Oh, I think another thing, this game's robot masters were perhaps the worst cases of Mr. Contact damage in the entire franchise. Like, so many of the bosses, all they do is either translate at you or shoot a single projectile, wait, and then translate at you, or they jump in the air, slam at you, and then translate at you. Like, that's all they do. And when I say translate at you, I'm using that language very specifically for a reason. When someone moves at me, that means there's like an animation of them moving. Like, I see them run over, or I like see them charging a punch and running at me with a punch or something. When they translate, you click the sprite in the programming software, and you tell it to take the sprite from x equals -120 over to x equals 20, and the sprite unchanging just shifts over to the side with 0 animation. And that's what they do. I'm not going to say they move, because they didn't earn that. They didn't fucking earn that. Yeah, it's a sprite going to different coordinates. Oh man. I want to find that goddamn tank. Oh, here's one of the tank fights, I think. And so, like, this is a case too where, like, this is so clearly planned around Mega Man's ability to jump that Mega Man just does a single jump and holds right and hits it perfectly, and Bass has to do like a weird half jump and like pull back a little bit so he doesn't overshoot. Is it just me, or does Bass's double jump look like ass? Yeah, no, you have a really good instinct there. Because the thing is, it's not that, like, he has a double jump and it's like an incredible thing that opens up all this stuff to him. It's a game that was designed for you to have a single jump, and there's borderline no way to exploit the double jump. Like, it's just, you have a 3/4 jump and another 3/4 jump, and so often you need to go exactly one high. So having 2 3/4 jumps means you either don't get there, or you double jump and you go too far and you go too high. Also, yeah, so there were some good songs in this game. This boss theme, which comes up constantly, It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. Okay, so the other... I do need to highlight one last thing. King Stage 2 might be the single most over-designed and nightmarishly long stage to ever disgrace the franchise. It goes on and on and on and has multiple bosses that alone would register as contenders for the worst Mega Man bosses of all time list. Let me get that fixed so it fits on screen again. There you go. But man, like King Stage 2, King Stage 2 is crazy because I'll think about it and I'll think through King Stage 2 and I'm always only thinking about half of it. I forget how much there is every single time. Let's see if we can find oh, here's the tank, by the way. Yeah, here's this piece of shit. Yeah, let's take a second to talk about this piece of shit tank. This tank has something like 5 separate spots you're supposed to shoot on it. All of them are ridiculously hard to hit without getting hit back. Most of the things you need to attack, you need to wait until the enemy uses them to make the shoot it at you. And so you end up just waiting for the right thing to happen sometimes. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, this is a pretty common thing. And so a thing you might think, and even a really close friend of mine who meant well but misremembered was like, yeah, you just have to get a shoot through walls thing and then you can just hit all the rest of the parts of it while you're underneath. Regrettably, no, because the shoot through walls thing, they knew they put that in the game, and so to compensate, they made it so the middle of the boss, like the core of it, body blocks things invincibly. So even if you're trying to shoot things on the top half of it when they're exposed, they just dinks. Oh, those little attack spikes, by the way, of the bombs that he's sending out. So you see how that sprite, and let me make sure, I think that's, yeah, that is as big as the sprite gets. See how it's like really piddly and it's like 99% on top? Yeah, guess which side is like way more fucking relevant. Guess which side goes all the way to the floor and pierces and will absolutely clip you no matter what you do. It also is like the width of the entire block. So you'll be like running or like dashing or something and just absolutely get blasted by one of those little tiny like spikes coming down through the floor. Oh, yeah, I do need to add that because that also is a thing that sucks shit. And this is like something that when I first thought about it, I was like, oh, well, that's not fair. It's like a pretty old game. They hadn't really figured out that players prefer to, you know, have dash be like a single button on the trigger or whatever yet, right? Like, it's understandable they wouldn't have the ability to remap dash to like L or R. Like, they hadn't thought of that yet. And then I was like, oh, wait, right. Mega Man X does that. You can absolutely do that in Mega Man X. You can so fucking do that in Mega Man X. You can so do that in Mega Man X that that if you run into Mega Man X on Arcade Pit and you load a save state, 99% of the time the controller is laid out that way because most people who are serious about video games and play a lot of Mega Man map it like that. So yeah, just a case of like, holy shit, they absolutely could have done that. What the fuck were they doing? Why not? Dash requires a double tap. There is no way to map dash to L or R, which is just absolutely brutal, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even the Super NES version of Mega Man and Bass lets you dash on a button. Like it's crazy. They fucked it up bespoke for the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, you can do that in the Zero series. You can do it in so many things. Yeah. It's unbelievable. And like, here's the thing. I'm willing to give people a pass on like wherever they map their button for dash. That's not the problem. If you want to put dash on a face button and that's how you've gotten used to it, yeah, it's comfortable. God bless. Go with my blessing. You want to put dash on the select button? Fucked up and evil, but I'll let you do it. The problem is it's only double tap forward or back, which are buttons that like do other things. And also double taps are agonizing to do a million times. Legitimately, I think it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was talking to Mini Matt about what team he would want to play in Marvel 2. And I can't remember. I think it was Marvel 2. It might have just been Vampire Saviors now I'm thinking about it. But Matt was like, dude, I would love to play BB Hood, but the nonstop dash cancels you have to do with like super tight double taps legitimately made my left thumb hurt like a motherfucker after doing them for like 20 minutes. Because you just had to like do an attack double tap, do an attack double tap, do an attack double tap. It like really wears down on you, that like double twitch movement. Doing it once in a while is no big deal, but when you have to do it 150 times back to back, it really starts to wear your hands out. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. So yeah, I think that's probably good coverage for Mega Man and Bass. Again, there's more I would definitely love to say. But part of the goal of this is to be able to turn into a video that covers, I don't know, at least 20 of them in one video. And otherwise I could spend 4 hours talking about how much I fucking hate Mega Man and Bass on the Game Boy Advance. I like really hate this game. Holy shit. Same, the Sako character, Sako combo scared me from playing her. Yeah, and that's like old game stuff too, so it's like super tight execution wise. Also the final bosses of this game are really lackluster. How lackluster? That's right, the final boss has the same music as all of them. Yeah, honestly accurate. Honestly, everything that I would say good is like things that were better on the Super Nintendo. I truly think this version has no need to exist, is fully despicable, and there is no reason to play it unless you, for some reason, have a marathon where you need to be able to inflict human suffering on yourself. That is the only justification I can think for playing the Game Boy Advance version of Mega Man and Bass. Hate that shit, man. And the SNES version isn't good, but like, even that, it's just better in literally every way. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if we've talked about... Okay, we have not talked about Perfect Weapon yet. Very good. You're welcome, everyone. Yeah, we talked about Time Commando, and I constantly get Time Commando and Perfect Weapon confused because they look so goddamn the same. If you ask one of them if they want ice cream, they both say yes. Games. So I think the thing I really need to hit up front, this game demands an absolutely insane amount of grinding from stage 1. The reason this game got knocked off the wheel is because we got to the end of stage 1 and there was so we were in a room, and off to the right of the room was the teleporter that ended the stage, and on the left there was an infinite dude closet, as in like a place where it just spawned infinite grunts, right? Like a little closet that Goombas just kept coming out of. And when you went to the teleporter to end the stage, you would get a message that was like, "Not yet, Mr. Commando. You need to do more combat before you can proceed to the next zone." And I went, what do you mean I gotta do more combat? And so I went and fought in the dude closet for a little bit and was like, okay, this is definitely endless game. Like, this is definitely endless guys. Walk back over there. You need to do more combat. And so I decided, okay, how much combat do I need to do? And after completing the entire first stage, every enemy has a chance to drop like a little chicken nugget thing that seemed to serve no purpose. By the time I finished the first level, I want to say I had like 30 or 40 or something like that. And let me get the exact numbers up because I don't want to just say shit. Okay, so yeah, the first level we had ended with about like 38
recording
of them.
Current date,
something like that. And again, let me show you a little bit of enemy combat so you can understand how long a fight takes. Here's an encounter with 2 wild wolves. Incredible combat.
No way.
Regrettably, I don't think either of them actually dropped the goodie you need, which is hysterical. So how many of infinite fights would you assume I would need to do to finish stage 1? Stage 1 ends at, for this player, let's see. It'll take quite a while to get through stage 1, huh? Wow, they take a really long time to get to stage 1. So, how many would you think you need? Again, I ended at like 38, 50, something like that. They wanted me to walk back to that dude closet and grind out 200 goodies to finish stage 1. You end naturally with about 40. They want you to grind dudes in the dude closet for, no joke, 30 plus minutes. Like, it would take so long, dude. 200. 200. Oh yeah, good point. You're constantly losing health, so not only are you rushing to finish the stage, you also need to rush through the grinding to try and maintain health parity. Like, oh man. No, so the moment I put it up to vote for the gong wasn't when I saw it was going to require 200. It was when I looked and saw that on stage 3, they were going to do the same thing again, but I needed 250. So it was gonna be another like 30-minute grind session, just fucking hanging out. And so like the kicker is too is like some people like grinding in games, and I'll even say this: some people like grinding in games. But that's usually because there's any fucking payout whatsoever. You don't level up in this game. You don't get stronger. You don't unlock new cool moves. You don't like get body armor that levels you up. You don't get a skill tree to put shit into. You just have to sit there and grind over and over and over, and it's like not fun. There's no level ups. There's no fun here. It's ass. Combat controls are, you know what? I should start with just controls. I'm gonna restart the game again. Let this fella work on his grinding. Controls are horrible. You have both free explore mode and combat mode. You can manually engage combat mode, but it also fires on proximity. What this means is you have a button that takes you from like normal kind of like walking around exploring mode into this like really awkward like shuffle steps only. Like see how he's kind of like running now and jogging? If he gets too close to an enemy, that turns off and you immediately go into tiny shuffle wiggle step mode, and you can't really like manually disengage it. Oh, holy shit, they did it. Your movement is absolutely tanked whenever in combat mode. And it's not great outside of it. Controls for combat are once again holding a button and a direction, and your guy just kinda does shit. The inputs feel bad and the outputs feel worse. Like, you put stuff in here, and like, even when you do get somewhat consistent at what you want, which for clarity, the attack you get is not only dependent on what you do, but also what your positioning is relative to other enemies. So there's like one attack you get if you hit down and the attack button that like only goes behind you. But then also you have to like hold the crouch button and kick to hit certain low enemies. Just very bad. Remind me the dudes might not drop goodies. That's correct. That's correct.
No way.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous thing in this game is getting bored. I think like the number one thing that's gonna keep you from being able to finish Time Commando is being really goddamn bored. Cause yeah, this long play goes for another 4 hours.
No way.
And wouldn't you know it, it's the exact same shit, but the enemies are like a little more annoying. Let's see if we can just see the ending. Let's cheat the game and ourselves. Yeah, this is just like a 3D beat 'em up that controls so bad that I think if you put it in the average person's hands, they would have. So you know how like people will mash in fighting games when they don't know what to do, and that's usually the cause of it, right? Is it's like you're uncertain what to do in a situation and you feel the pressure of losing bearing down on you, so you just panic and press shit. It's a very normal human reaction. It's kind of what always happens. I think anyone has that reflex when they first pick up Perfect Weapon, because it just feels so bad to control that you're just like panicking and kind of hoping anything will come out correctly. And then when you know what you're doing, it just like doesn't really help. No, you're thinking of, oh, I put Perfect Commando at the top. That, holy shit. You're thinking of Time Commando. This is Perfect Weapon. It's so easy to conflate those two games because they have so much of the same energy. Oh, one sec. Here's the ending, by the way. If anyone was wondering what we didn't get after we voted to say, fuck this game, actually. Oh, sorry, dog. This was about a thing, a stream series I did for over a month, for like almost 200 hours last month, where we played 50 games. So we're working through those. All right, here's the old ending. Enjoy. Okay, you killed that guy. Oh, Perfect Weapon, Time Commando, and Crow City of Angels are all the same devs. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That they control shitty kind of the same. Yeah. Time to go home. Oh no, the clown was still alive. That's the end. That's all you get, by the way. That is the ending. After like 4 hours of grinding and mashing animations and shit, that's the ending. That is the ending. That's the full ending of the video game. That's it. Yeah, I forgot to show it off during the stream, but yeah, that's what you're fighting tooth and nail for over 4 hours. Is he puts the chicken nugget in the thing, and then he goes in the elevator and says, fuck this, and leaves, and then the final boss was like, actually, I didn't die. And that's it. That's the whole fucking thing. That's it. That's all you get. That's the end of Perfect Weapon. You know what? I will put the good. I found out this developer also made Time Commando and The Crow City of Angels, which means I may have a new least favorite developer. Oh, Techno Cop was made by them too? Oh shit. Yeah. And Techno Cop. Yeah, which means I think I have a new least favorite developer. I think I like these dudes less than Ocean. You know, like I was like Titus, Ocean, you know, a lot of the greats, but Infogrames, right? A lot of people don't make Grames anymore, but they sure fucking they did for a while, man. Yeah, holy smokes though. What a lineup. What else did they make? Because they've made like a lot of games, if I remember correctly. Like I remember looking when I think it was Yoshara posted in the patron Discord, like, "Hey, you're not gonna believe all the shit these guys made." Okay, sick. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I'll swap to Once They Became Gray Matter. Technocop, Road Raider, Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun, and The Ultimate Ride. A bunch of these are Amiga games. That makes sense to me. Dirty Harry and Mad Max on the NES. James Bond Jr. Oh, God, right. They were Wayne's World for the Super NES, too. Holy shit. You want to talk about another stinker that probably could have been on this list? And Bob, B.O.B. They also made The Terminator. That was the other one I forgot. They did Terminator 2. And Technocop and Terminator. Yeah, like, holy fuck, dude. What a What a lineup, man. Yeah, hot dog. Like, wowie wow wow. There's woof and Terminator. Woof. Woof. Just Terminator, not Terminator 2. Oh, thank God. Okay. God bless them. They didn't do that one. All right, congratulations. You don't get Terminator 2's not your fault somehow. I was wondering if they just put T2 and listed it wrong. The Incredible Crash Dummies, another very stinky game. The Super Nintendo Ren and Stimpy game, which also sucks a lot. A couple 3DO games. And then, yeah, like Perfect Weapon, The Crow City of Angels, and then they were out of there. Oh, okay, they weren't Time Commando. Never mind, they weren't Time Commando. Good to know. But they did make The Crow City of Angels and Technocop, which is very cool. Oh, right. Sorry, I was conflating the other very cool company that made a shocking number of games on this wheel, which is LJN, who also really shot up my list of developers I am not fond of. I keep forgetting about LJN. LJN published, yeah. Then they were my least favorite publisher of the era. Godspeed. All right, let me get next game up here. You know what? Let's do this now. Cause dude, I have a lot of things to say about Bubsy 3D. I know we all do a little hee hee ha ha Bubsy 3D actually good. No, man. No, man. No, man. Just like, no, man. Like, no, man. It's really not. It's really not. Wow, can you believe how good Metal Harbor is? This might have some of the worst stage design in the entire lineup. So much of the stages are just very ugly, hyper contrasting rectangles on a flat plane in rectangles. And it's just like a bunch of really fucking inconvenient rectangles. It's like abysmally bad stage design. Yeah, boring stage design. Game is truly deeply hideous, front to back. Textures, there aren't any. They like forgot about textures. They forgot about textures. There aren't textures. Oh God. Music is some of the worst. I've personally subjected myself to. They try to do some diegetic. Is it diegetic? Is that the term I'm thinking of? Where it's with an E. Okay, that's what I was like. I'm definitely doing something wrong here. It's diegetic, like that. Very good. So they try to do some diegetic sound via having enemies telegraph their location by having a bespoke audio sample when they're near. that idea would be cool if it wasn't literally always firing 25-9 from when you start level 1 until the fucking thing ends. The diegetic enemy noises are like fucking crazy. Like, of all the sound problems I have with that game, let me just get an example here. Okay, there's an enemy nearby, but it's a quieter one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, the swimming levels didn't have a ton. There we go. So you can hear there's an enemy on your right. So in particular, the little that thing has been stuck in my head for so long. That got stuck in my head, I think, the first time I saw my friend Author Blues play through this game, and just hearing that little clicking and going from like, oh, is that supposed to be in the music? That's really bad. Is that part of the soundtrack? Did they mean to do that? Is that the emulation messing up? To like the slow creeping realization of that is a diegetic choice they have of the enemies make that noise. Because they know the controls are so horrendous that like if there's an enemy behind you slightly to your right, you're fucked. Like, because you either need to turn around incredibly slowly or jump straight up and then pull back into the right so that you like float back that way. It's grating in a way very few things are. It's absolutely crazy on that front. Yeah, and Oth mentioned one thing that I'm gonna go into a little bit because I think it's a little bit more extreme than most people realize. So this game does get a teleport maze counter, which is something. It's the ending segments are filled with teleport mazes that have a chance to kill you, and also take 20 plus, that's not fair. They take 10 plus seconds to resolve. That's the thing that kills me. You start with like actual teleport mazes and you're like, oh, this kind of stinks. This is no good. And then you get to the later parts and they're like, okay, here's a space with 3 roller coaster chairs next to each other. Get in one of them. It'll take you fucking somewhere eventually. And also a lot of them have like a little billboard stop sign thing, and you'll just like be riding this thing and then the camera shit whips up 45 degrees and you slam into it on like frame 4 and it's like, yeah, you were supposed to jump out of the cart. You were supposed to react to that. And it just kills you instantly too. Oh man. It's wild. Really, really impressively bad. The worst glide I have ever had the misfortune of controlling. I think they realized that, particularly Bubsy 1 for the Super Nintendo, one of the ways you can invalidate a lot of the game is by gliding very aggressively, knowing what you're allowed to bounce off of when you're gliding, and just like trying to stay over the whole damn thing, right? Like that's like a big part of how you get away with it in Bubsy. Whenever I beat somebody on Arcade Pit on Bubsy, it's because I was in the air gliding more than they were. They were walking on the ground like a fucking sucker, and I was flying through the sky and not interacting with a goddamn thing. And so I think they had that realization, and they were like, okay, what if we made the glide suck ass? What if we made the glide suck huge ass? You have to explicitly jump with the glide button, which only jumps about, I don't know, it felt like 3/4 the height, but you get as close to 0 horizontal as they could get away with while legally calling it a glide. Like, oh man. So if you do try to glide from one place to another, you just sink like a stone. It's crazy how fast you fall. Like, don't get me wrong, if a bobcat tried to glide, it probably would go like that. You know, they don't fly in nature. But yeah, holy smokes, man. So like, if you try to use the glide to get over horizontal gaps, there's a lot of times that just feels strictly incorrect, because you could just do the standard jump, guide that, and it's squirrely as shit, but you have a lot of control. So there is that. Bosses are really bad. One of them requires you to get shot at, dodge it, and then glide over the residue they leave behind. Why? I don't know, man. It makes an updraft, I guess. Figure it out, stupid. Like, you figure it out, man. Yeah, that part is really, 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 really brutal. What else really was like so bothersome about Bubsy 3D? I really think the big thing was just like almost all of the stages were just dreadfully fucking boring. Like, it was a hallway that you then turned 90 degrees and went down another hallway, and it was just filled up with horse piss, like 10,000 launchers. You know what I should say? You have a projectile attack. It's maybe the worst projectile on the entire wheel. And I do mean that, because you have to like walk up to one of the things, press a button to grab it, and then you like pivot tank control style and can let go. You also can get a power up that just lets you shoot them whenever, and it is like mandatory at some point, or at least it feels mandatory. But it's still no good. Also, yeah, good point. There's a projectile attack. It's the worst on the entire wheel. Takes a huge amount of setup. You have to watch it fly the whole way out. On whiff, you can easily hit yourself. Cool, neat. Just like neat. I don't know if it's if you hold it too long, but if you fire it and it whiffs, it seems like with shockingly high accuracy, it finds its way back to you. There were some times where I was like, I don't think there was a wall out there, and it found my ass. It got to me. Oh God. What else? Oh, a lot of waiting, whether it be for a roller coaster cart or a spider walker guy or platforms slowly moving back and forth. Which way to make progress is brutally unclear. Because, and I think this counts as a collect the nuggies, because like if you want to get the good ending, this game is clearly designed around them wanting you to go get every single rocket piece. It goes back the way it came, which is right back to where you were standing. Okay, so it's not, I wasn't just like getting hit by the Ty Tuesday jester logic. It was like actually trying to get me. Yeah, they want you to get every rocket piece. This often turns into walk up to a split in the road. There are 5 paths. 4 have a rocket. 1 has the exit. No tell. Just no tell. You just kind of have to know. You just have to know. Yeah, draw distance is rough, which, considering everything else, is pretty goddamn egregious. Oh yeah. The way this game checks to kill you over death planes is fucking unhinged and one of the worst feeling things I've ever seen implemented into a platformer. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? Well, and since Hoth is in chat, feel free to correct me if there's like some specifics you know that I don't, as a speedrunner of this, which God bless, you know, as a speedrunner of Sonic 06, shaking hands. Whenever you are over a death plane, meaning you're like, let's say you're jumping from platform A to platform B and there's some water underneath it. You jump and you take off from platform A and you jump over the body of water and land on platform B. We're Gucci, no problems whatsoever. You glide over from one to the other and you're Gucci. No, Maxwell Lord, no, that's the one thing we don't have to mention. That's just factually untrue. Bubsy 3D runs really smooth. That's like the one thing it has going for it, is it like does run okay. Like the animations are really fucked up and they have like animations that are running on like different lower frame rates and stuff, but like, no, the movement in like the game engine state rendering is like pretty good. Yeah, that's like actually all right. Oh man. Sorry, what I was getting to though is, so if you're ever over a body of water and you are not either jumping or gliding, if you're in any other state, it just checks, sees you're over the body of water and not jumping or gliding, and it hard frame zero cuts to a cutscene of Bubsy getting killed. So you'll just be standing and like jumping over a platform or something, you'll land on the far edge and then you'll like, okay, so let's say you're jumping from platform A to platform B and you kind of misjudge it a little bit and you're just barely going to make it. Usually a pretty easy instinct to make, or like, let's say you're worried you're going to overshoot it and you don't. So you land on the platform and you hold back to just kind of slow yourself down or whatever. And then you will, like as you're backing up, you'll still be on the platform, but like Bubsy's center of mass will be according to the Z axis, like lined up with a body of water, and you're not in a like falling state, or you're not in a jumping or gliding state. So it just rips you to dying, which feels really bad. Yeah, the game decides for you that you don't make it despite the fact that gravity exists. Yeah, that's really like the kind of the way to put it, right? Is like, all they had to do was wait for you to fall down until you touched a death plane. Like all they had to do was just like fucking chill, just wait until it does that. And yeah, I mean, and I've had to say it a bunch of times, but my opinion on them like remastering it, giving it better control, better like camera and all that stuff is like, I will point to the top of the screen. There's not like interesting stages in this. Like there's like if you make the most Baby Mario Maker stage have like crazy production values, it's still a Baby Mario Maker stage, and that's kind of how I feel like this. I feel about this is just like, yeah, you can make the control, like it will be better than this was, but like the ceiling is just still so low. It's just so low. Enemy projectiles, on the flip side, are fucking crazy. Bubsy cannot aim up or down. Enemies can. Enemy projectiles range from almost impossible to see watermelon seeds up to an entire safety goggle being hucked at you. All of them have crazy hitboxes. Good luck, have fun. Later stages include hallways full of guys just pissing them at you. Like, you are just having them just pissing them at you. Yeah, Bubsy 3D is one of those games that the 10 out of 10 speedrun has zero redeeming qualities beyond that. Yeah, Sonic 06, I feel like the exact same way. And even Sonic 06, I'm like even harsher, I think, because I think Sonic 06, Sonic Story, no MSG, any percent, is really fun. And then I think Silver Story is like pretty all right. Like, it's still a pretty fun speed run. There's a lot of goofy tech. Shadow sucks. The Shadow speedrun fucking blows. And because of that, the full game speedrun extremely blows. Especially because the Shadow part, on top of being the least fun part of the speedrun, is also the most unstable part of the speedrun. So on top of not being a good time, it's the one that's the most likely to fucking piss you off. So it's like brutal, man. It's brutal. Yeah, but no MSG, Sonic 06, Sonic Story, that shit's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Never play the game casually unless it's for a stream. But yeah, there's enemies just constantly pissing bullets at you. The constant bullets would only be a minor inconvenience if not for the... It's like... It feels like three seconds of knockdown stun animation that takes place every time Bubsy gets hit. I think that's really a big part of it, is you have to sit there and watch as Bubsy's head spins on the ground and they go Jesus Christ, the camera. Jesus Christ, the camera, man. Speaking of, let me turn this on here. Oh man, the camera's so fucking crazy. In an attempt to make the jumps feel better / more controllable, they've implemented a camera choice wherein the camera snaps to directly overhead, looking straight down as soon as you jump. Always. And that, oh man, that stinks. Ooh, it feels so bad. Ooh, it feels so bad. Like, if you ever have to do like multiple jumps back to back and you're like not practiced, so they're like a little twitchy and a little awkward, it means the camera's looking forward, looking down, looking forward, looking down, looking forward, looking down, looking forward, looking down, and like just actively whipping 90 degrees every time. It's rough. It's so jarring. Yeah. Okay, now for the good. Oh, let me make sure this is lined up correctly. The good. When I streamed this game, there was a chatter who said, and I quote, "Oh, he talks," about Bubsy. And that, to me, was an indication of a different, more beautiful... a more beautiful universe that I wish I could be a part of, and I'm immensely glad I ripped someone from it. That shit was so funny to me. Oh, he talks. Like, just the serene joy of someone coming in and being like, oh, this seems iffy, but like, yeah, you know, it's not too bad. And then he goes, I guess I deserve to be kicked in the penis. And then they're just like, oh. The Bubsy voice actress is pretty chill. So if I remember right, it's the same voice actress as Rouge the Bat. And also I think she's just like pretty high up in voice acting stuff in general. Like I believe she does like a lot of like management stuff as well. Lonnie Minelli, yeah, like I believe she's like really works hard in the VA industry and whatnot. Also immensely funny to think also Ivy and Soul Calibur. So Ivy and Soul Calibur, Rouge the Bat, Bubsy 3D. Is it good to be typecast as a bat with huge gazongas? Well, anyway, so let me copy this over, and then I'm gonna grab our next game. Give me just a second here. But yeah, man, Bubsy 3D was one of them that I was expecting to be like a little more up on the whole, kind of in the same way I ended up with Pac-Man 2, where I was like, you know, it's got some stuff it was doing. It's got some pretty unique characteristics. There's like some redeeming value here, you know, like it's shitty, but it's really goofy. They were swinging for the fences and it doesn't all work out, but it's like pretty good, you know, and then, and then it just like kept going. All right. Wheel. Did I already talked about Simpsons Wrestling? We've talked about Perfect Weapon and Time Commando. We talked about Hugo, Fifth Element, Eggs of Steel, Danger Girl, The Crow, Cheesy Bubsy 3D, Austin Powers Pinball. You know what? I think the only PlayStation games we have left to talk about are the two best ones, right? The ones that everybody loved. Let's start with the one that I think is like closer to an acceptable video game. Thank you, Long Play Central. I love you, baby. Folks, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd. I'm letting you all enjoy the one good part of this, which is where they kind of did like a goofy intro and kind of like a James Bond blaxploitation style. That was kind of interesting. So, here's what the game actually is. So, the bad. Really tough perspective, adventure game. Despite having Jax from Mortal Kombat, you'd be hard pressed to convince most people this was a Mortal Kombat game if you removed the iconography. Truly, I don't like Mortal Kombat. I've been pretty vocal about that over the years. I'm not a Mortal Kombat guy. I've never been a Mortal Kombat guy, and I'll probably be buried in my grave still not being a Mortal Kombat guy. That being said, I know what Mortal Kombat is. I know like what it's trying to do. I know what it's like, it's setting up. I get the vibe. I get the aesthetic. I understand when, you know, Mortal Mortal Kombat when Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. I get why that's cool, you know? I don't like it, but like I get why people do like it. This game has none of it, man. This game has like none of it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's walking around really empty, boring buildings and trying to get a key. Yeah, just really generic environments. With go find a blue key, then find a blue door, then find a red key, then backtrack the entire stage to a red door to get a yellow key, to then play through the entire level again forwards to hit the yellow door that instantly puts you at the boss. This game is so ass about this. There is nothing else going on here. Like, there's something to be said about having the progression at least feel like it's trying to do something. I feel like Doom and Doom 2, it's okay for them to do the blue key for blue doors and all that stuff because it's Doom. Everything's going at 25,000 miles per hour. So you're allowed to have something be very clear and readable and have the explanation be because we need a way to do progress and it's very cool. This, on the other hand, oh man, it's just rough. And it's so much walking back and forth. And if you've killed all the enemies, which like you really do have to, it's just running the entire stage length with nothing. Like nothing happens. You don't fight more guys. You just slowly walk. And there's like so much of that walking too. Here, let me skip to Outworld. Outworld is a stage where you have to go so far to get a key and then run all the way back to the beginning and then all the way to the outside. Oh, it's so bad. So this Mortal Kombat is a series that has what's commonly referred to as a dial-a-combo. And what they mean by that is, like, let's say you're playing Street Fighter and you want to get Ryu to do a heavy punch into a crouching heavy punch into a fireball. The way you would do that is by pressing heavy punch and then like right when that punch hit, or maybe like a couple frames after, you then in the cancel window would hit crouch heavy punch, which would do it. And then you'd wait until like a little after it hits and you get the cancel window. And then you input the Hadouken and then he does the Hadouken. So you have to like time stuff out a little bit. Mortal Kombat is like dead the opposite. If you want to do a combo that's like A, B, C, D, you literally just go A, B, C, D. And then the game will resolve it on its own time. So this is like, it somehow doesn't do that, but also isn't timed. Like you have to put everything in weirdly quickly, but it's not an infinite window. So it's just this really, really strange thing. I wouldn't say dial-a-combo is 3D strings because like, it's more about the fact that you can input them basically instantly. Like you can just tap them up front and it'll all come out. Cause like Soul Calibur is not like that, right? Yeah, and it's extremely small windows very early is the thing, like all up front. But they don't do that in this game. This game is like somewhere between that and like a regular combo structure, and it just feels really, really, really bad. Okay, you have combo strings that you unlock that are, for example, you know, let's say circle, circle, X, X, circle, circle, circle. But if the enemy makes just any part of it with you now go into default baby string, which is very bad. Bosses are almost exclusively run away, run in, do your best current string that knocks down, run away, repeat. That's really what that was on the whole. It was a lot of run in, punch him a few times, run away, wait for them to stand up, and throw like whatever at you, right? Like they throw their 10 tracking projectiles where they go hoo-ah, 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 hoo, and then you just wait for those insane projectiles to finish, and then you run in, do a single combo, run away. Repeat. Incredibly boring stage design. That's not even that. I'll just say specifically, it's the textures, really. It's a lot of like concrete blocks and just rooms full of concrete blocks. Just concrete blocks on one side, concrete blocks on the ceiling, concrete blocks on the floor, everywhere. Including some that are interactables that are flagged in no other ways. So in particular, what I'm thinking about is there was a stage where we had to push pillars out of the way. And to do that, you had to like specifically walk over to these pillars, walk to the left or right side, and then like press up against them. Which just due to the way the stage was structured, you'd have no reason to do. And there's not been any pushable blocks before then. So it really is kind of a guess white boy guess. I had to look it up. I just straight up had to look it up. These. So these pillars appear all over the place. And here's the other thing. Not all of these are pushable. This is the other thing that's crazy. They aren't all pushable. So you've run into this block before and you maybe have tried to push it and gone, oh, I guess this, like the rest of the game, is not a pushable item. So yeah, just like random stuff like that. The music's pretty rough. Levels are very mazy. Oh yeah, bombable walls that are, holy shit, so hard to see. In a stage where all the walls are textured like cracked rocks, you need to find the specifically cracked rocks in a slightly different way. And that's really what's so wild about it, is like you're in a building that's entirely made out of cracked walls, and you have to find the specific cracked walls they want you to break. And it's just like, it feels like such a little nitpick thing, but like, holy shit, it adds up and it starts to really wear on you. Enemies with guns become hellaciously plentiful and are always boring. You will use guns for combat 99% of the game. That's the other thing. You basically want to use your combos for the bosses and nothing else. Like, they're so bad at everything else.
Starting our little gang. Little did they know they were only pawns to slow you down. And in that respect, they succeeded. You're too late, Jax. I have already reached the eye of Shitian. And soon, you will know its power.
Alright, the good.
Oh, delicious irony. You shall be the first to serve me.
The only thing I'm gonna serve you is a steel fist to your face, you delusional maniac. And after you get your pounding, I'm gonna haul your butt back to prison back home on Earth, where you won't have the aid of this overgrown light bulb.
The good.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
The opening is doing a camp recreation of like a James Bond style like blaxploitation film thing. So like that's something. That's like referencing a media that, you know, people like. So there's that. All right, who's ready to see the final boss, by the way? Which we did do this on stream, but I'm interested to see how this long player handles it. See if they do the same shit I did, or if they abuse the fact that later on you can just do like 3 punches and stop, and that's an infinite against some people. All right, already starting pretty good. Oh, they're using rocket strats. Oh, they accidentally knocked them. They've shot themselves with it. Why did that one hit him? Oh my God. I fucking hate this game. That one's so crazy. Look how far away he is when that rocket goes off. Look, okay. Come on, man. Why is that? Yeesh. Are they just gonna eat heal packs and just shoot them with rockets over and over? That's so good, man. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, auto-timed meaties. Yeah, pull out the shotgun, tell them how it is. Oh man, that's good stuff. Oh, nice, found a sunlock. Okay, that was final boss.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this thing.
Yeah.
Come in.
So I think this game really missed the camp of Mortal Kombat and the film it's making. Like it doesn't hit either side of them. It doesn't do the 3D cutscenes, which I think is like a real bummer, because like of all the things I have to say about Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, of which there are many, none of them are like the game doesn't go ham enough, you know? Like the cutscenes are awesome. I love that part of Sub-Zero. That part is so fun. Getting to see Quan Chi just cheesing it for the camera. My boy Quan Chi's in it. That shit's fire. That's so fun. And yeah, you just really don't get that, huh? Like even a little bit. Yeah, we love community theater Quan Chi. That shit's so fun. That shit is so fun. It doesn't have that. And then, yeah, the voice work just feels actually bad. It doesn't feel like they were doing a bad on purpose thing. Like it's not quite referential enough. And it doesn't land enough of the beats to make it feel like what they're shooting for. So it just sounds like they did a shitty job. And that's like less good. Final complaint. These motherfuckers didn't put K's on shit. That, man, come on. There's like one memo. There's like one memo in Mortal Kombat. Is like, if something is highlighted and it starts with C, that goes, it starts with the K now. It's Mortal Kombat, baby. Combat with a K. Karts with a K. We do everything with a K. That's like the one thing you gotta do in Mortal Kombat. And yeah, like literally, it's a combo. Like they're like huge combo with a C, and you're like, but couldn't it have been a combo? Couldn't it have been a combo with a K? Oh, man. Trying to type the Legacy Collection with a K and then autocomplete just goes, not so fast. Oh, okay. And that's how I feel about Mortal Kombat Special Forces. It's a attempt at doing a hybridization of Tomb Raider and Legend of Zelda 64 that really just falls on its face in both halves. It does the worst of both and has the combat grace of nothing. There just isn't any. Man. All right. Let's see. There were a couple more games I wanted to talk about today. Did I really? Is that true? Have we not talked about RoadRunner Death Valley Rally yet? That can't be right. I mean, it says on paper it is. And that's like what the paper's for. Yeah. I have to pee so bad. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. 1 second. Okay, so how are we liking the music so far? We liking the music? How we feel about the music, gang? The worst bits. I gotta say, surprise award winner for worst OST. Did not expect the Merry Melodies gang to really fuck it up this bad. Yeah, this isn't the worst track in the game. No, I think I gotta give that to Hop Along Casualty, which I think is around here. That might be the boss, though. Let me see. Oh. It needs to buffer. Video too long. Did YouTube make a change again where if you use an ad blocker, it makes it run slower on purpose? Are they doing that again? They love doing that in the past. They're doing it again? Okay, great. Cool, cool. Keep it up, guys. Yeah, no better way to, no better way to keep people here. you know? If you clean cookies and refresh, it'll be good for a few more videos. I'll just refresh it. Here, play it at 720. Okay. Here it is. So this is the song that made this game hit the congratulations, this is the worst OST in the entire game. Welcome to Hop Along Casualty. In a game full of big problems, this song is such an unreal outlier. Oh, it keeps getting worse, yeah. We're about to get to my least favorite part, which is where, like, they try to do a Tony Danza tap dance extravaganza breakdown, and it just goes... Yeah. And then it just goes back into the main line like nothing happened. And yeah, so I've heard people try to, or I haven't heard it, I haven't talked to a real human being in person about this shit. I've seen people try to claim that, oh, it's like the cartoons where they had like goofy music that was like, you know, going with the animation, so you'd hear a lot of little dinks and plinks and stuff. No, I would like to throw them down the same flight of stairs that the keyboard was thrown down to make this. It is not. It is fucking not. The cartoons have good music. Yeah, it's so bad. So the first thing, yeah, a Hop Along Casualty wins the award for Jesus Christ of OSTs. Yeah, it's just like crazy that a game based on Looney Tunes, it's not just that it's bad, it's that it's horrible. It's horrible. Like, the instrumentation choices are really bad. The melodies are really bad. The harmonies are really bad. Like, it's horrible. The rhythmic choices are bad. The tonality of the instruments is bad. Horrible timbres. Like, man. And it's also really distracting. Like, given the fact that it's background music for a video game, that means it has a very specific purpose to do. And I think if it's constantly making you just stop and go, holy shit, like, that's about as big of a failure as an OST can have, right? Like, if the soundtrack is so fucked that it makes you literally stop playing the game and go, whoa, like, that's as bad as a soundtrack can be, I think. Like, I think that's about the worst you can go. Yeah. Okay, and now for like the gameplay part, which I will mercifully put on some get ready. Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Put a little bit of that on. So this game is entirely based around momentum and moving your momentum. The momentum feels really bad. momentum builds up too fast in some situations and bleeds off instantly on confusingly gentle slopes. Holy shit, the RoadRunner is so horizontal. Why is no one talking about this? This guy is so fucking long left to right. You don't know how much of a problem that is until you play an entire game where instead of Mario being 2 tall and 1 wide, you play a game where he's 1 tall and 6 wide. It's so nuts. You donk into so much shit. Leads to your hurt box being agonizingly wide. In a game where you're supposed to be moving very fast, it just cuts your reaction time available by even more. Stage design in this is hellacious. Almost always a big open map with an exit somewhere. So not to bury the lead any farther, we should definitely talk about the #1 criminal act, and that's gonna be me putting a 4 into teleport mazes and a 10 into uncertain win cons. So let me pull up the image real quick. So here is a map of the second to last level. This is 5-1. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. It's insane. No, this is the one that comes before the teleporter maze level. Oh ho ho, looks like someone's getting a little ahead of themselves. I understand, it's an exciting time. We all love to talk about RoadRunner. No, this one, thankfully, is not a teleport maze. It's just a maze where you need to go from, like, I want to say you start at the top left, and you have to get, let me try to highlight this a little bit. So the part that makes this so difficult to navigate, I'm gonna get the whole shebang in here again, is, sorry, I cut off some of it. You weren't even getting the whole thing. There you go. So the goal of this stage is to exit via the bottom right. So you are trying to get down to here. You're trying to end up here. Now, the way you do that, and oh, I need to, sorry, there's even more down here. It's not being captured right. Hold on. There we go. Now you can see the bottom. It's just there. No, it's still not showing it. What the heck? What the heck? Hold on. Okay. So you're trying to get to the bottom right here. And it's really hard to see because for some reason OBS is deciding to cut it off, and I'm not sure precisely why OBS is doing that. There we go. So you can see how there's like a little tiny thing you can exit out of this tube to the left. Now, if you follow me up here, so you go from this bottom right corner, and then you go left, go up through this tube, and then you go into another tube next to it.
Now here's the cruelty of this tube. See how this tube is just like a kind of back and forth thing? So when you first arrive here, you almost certainly are getting injected from one of the random spots on the left, whether it be higher up, this one in the middle, or like so on and so forth. So you go into this thing, you write it down, you hit the bottom, and this little sign marker thing here, this is like a checkpoint and a flag pickup. So you run down there and you go, oh, okay, I guess that's what was down there. And then you run back up, and then you leave, and then you're fed back out into the fucking level again. And then you're back in this fucking nightmare, and you have to figure out how the fuck you're supposed to get there. Because what you need to do is enter this tube, and then instead of assuming that this little thing to the left, this weird overhang, like you look at that and you're like, oh, that's another way I can enter the tube. No, you stupid piece of shit. You need to go down 2 levels, and then in this game with really awkward momentum, do a jump off the lower down angle thing across the top of that to get yourself in the left side tube, and then go to the bottom and then exit. This little switchback piece of shit, no joke, made this game take probably a solid 17 minutes longer than it would have otherwise. Otherwise, you can just fucking walk out, you know? But, nah, man, they put the nastiest little switchback on the planet entirely just to ruin you. Yeah, also the checkpoints. Checkpoints will just kind of put you wherever. And you can activate the checkpoints in the wrong order. You can very easily activate a checkpoint that's right before the end of the stage, get turned around because of their insane level design, and then activate a checkpoint way earlier in the level, and assume maybe you made progress, and you're fucking wrong. You're wrong, and now you have to do it again. Yeah, a checkpoint that respawned it directly in front of a pit that made me game over. Yeah, that was sick. Well, anyway, so that's the easier of the two. Here's the other one. Here's the other, by the way. But wait, there's more. This one's gonna require some big zooming, so give me a second here. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. So it's a little hard to see because it's so squanched, but these little things that are like two lines straight up and then a little bubble over them and a thing overhead, those are teleporters. Those are all teleporters. They do have a number on them. There we go. Yeah, so you can see like there's the number 6, number 5, and number 4. Now you might say, why are there 3 teleporters right next to each other? That seems like it'd be pick a door teleporter maze. Yeah. Yeah. Also, so let me show you the whole stage again. Let me show you everything. So you start, I want to say, somewhere near the bottom left or whatever. The only way to really get going, and get started is one specific teleporter. And it is perhaps the worst teleporter to get to out of all of them. Anyone have any guesses based on this? Which of the teleporter locations is the most annoying to get to? This fucking guy. This fucking guy right here. This piece of shit. See this thing? See this thing kind of floating in the middle of nowhere? Yeah. Nothing attaches to it. Nothing jumps up to it. You can't really see it super good from any of the places you can get to. So what you have to do is get up to here and then walk off the left side and fall straight down. Yeah, the line there is a clue for sure. And yeah, that's how you have to start. So this is another case of, I think I spent the first 10, 12 minutes of playing this stage trying out every teleporter I could get to, and just being like, it was to the point that I pulled out notes and was writing down like, okay, teleporter 2 goes over here, this one goes over here, this one goes over here, and realized I had exhausted all the teleporters I had seen, and then pulled up a map and saw that there was a teleporter that was just hanging out in a void in the middle of the level, and that was the one I needed to go to.
And then after that, it doesn't like get much better because again, you end up in these spots where there's 3 teleporters and only one of them is correct. You get in situations where there's multiple teleporters and you need to like get around weird angles into one. You get spots like this one where there's 2 teleporters, one right above the other, and it's like good luck if you need to actually go down from there. So on and so forth. It's just straight up just a teleporter maze. True, there is a sign that's pointing down to it if you're already falling down to it. That's true. That's true. But yeah, this whole stage is just an endless teleporter maze, and it is possibly I don't think it's the worst teleporter maze. I honestly think Bubsy 3D takes that. I think its teleporter mazes were worse than this, but the overall experience of like navigating it was worse because holy shit do you control so bad. Oh man, Gimmick. Sorry, just thinking about the Gimmick soundtrack. It's good stuff. That's good stuff. But yeah, that's... Oh no, wait, I almost didn't talk about the other thing. Hold on. I'm a dummy. I almost forgot to talk about the bosses. The bosses that are very cool that I've never seen anyone do without damage boosting. Bring my text field back. There we go. Just look at maps of the final 2 stages. Quantum Beep 1+2. If you want to embrace Fire Blue Hell. Because it really does just look like Fire Blue. Boss fights are almost all damage racy to some degree. The boss of it wasn't the train, it was the one, I think it was the one at the end of Hell. I think it was here. Yes, this thing is one of them. They try to show you where the weak points are by putting a little exclamation point on top. This was World 3's boss. Let's see if you can remember very quickly. This one was also pretty rough. Have to do some awful platforming to reach up to where the weak points are and peck them a few times. Your choices on most are to either do 6 frame perfect dodges plus boosts to manage to get a hit and escape safely, or just tank the fucking thing and kill it before you die. There was so much of this that like, and you can even see this long player now that they have like a life lead, they're just like, whatever, fuck it, man. And just staying up top as much as they can and just trying to slam through the weak points, like not even really caring too much about the rest of the mechanics. Which, yeah, that's like a good call on these. The final boss has a really egregious hit of this. Let me show you. So the final boss, on top of everything else, there's never been something you can jump on in this game that has an enemy that doesn't hurt you, right? Because you're not allowed to jump on stuff in this game. This isn't that kind of game. For the final boss, after you do a full segments, you just have to jump on this like weird hover bike with an enemy on it. Why would you ever assume this is a safe platform you can hang out on? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, again, mandatory. And then again, it's another case of just trying to damage race the terrible missiles.
boost is pretty mandatory to get through a lot of segments and is very limited. Slopes are brutal. You ain't gonna believe how slow this RoadRunner is. Because it really is, man. Like, whenever you don't have boost, he's so slow. He's so slow. He takes so long to get moving. And yeah, so stages range from like a vertical layout platformer where you're like navigating these big boulders, down to in a way that makes you like worry about losing progress at any point. Oh, this is Sonic Colors. Yeah, this is from Colors. That's like the best, is the levels where you can fall down and lose all progress. To hell mazes where you won't know if you've made progress. Yeah, I think this game has, and I'm gonna count it as a negative, this game has a bonus like have 99 lives cheat that the developers were absolutely using. They were absolutely using it 100%. I refuse to believe they balanced this around that not being on. And that's the big thing, is like they really, really clearly balanced around being able to just throw shit at the wall and like get away with it. Platinum that game earlier this year? How do you... Did it come out on a system with achievements? Maybe. Oh, right, because they did the remakes, right? Were the remakes like on PS4, PS5 with Chivos? That would make sense. That'd be hype. Congratulations, if so. Congrats on playing Sonic Colors. It's a great game. Very easy to... Oh, came out on PS3 as well? Nice. Very easy to collect checkpoints out of order. And then I do want to highlight the additional time. No, really, the music is so fucking crazy, man. The music's so crazy. Okay, yeah, it was a PS4 port. I was thinking so. No, it's just Wii and DS originally. Yeah, it was just Wii. However, there's really good HD texture packs for Dolphin. Oh, yeah, you're thinking of Unleashed. Unleashed is the one that released on fucking everything. Yeah, I'm gonna queue up just to really highlight how far the distance is between like music that is good for a video game and music that is bad for a video game. And I will pick momentum-based platformers for both. Okay, so here's RoadRunner. Here's Quantum Beep. Interesting. Okay. Okay, now let's compare that to... But... Planet Wisp is broken. That's not fair. Fuck you. It's not fair. It's music in a Sonic game. It's music in a momentum-based platformer. Here, I'll get another one. Sure. Okay, here's one from a contemporary. How about this? God, Ice Cap Zone is so heat. It's so good, man. It's just like so good. You know? Or, you know what? To make it more fair, how about I go back a console generation? He says lying as he puts the Silver Surfer OSC on. I wasn't making it easier on the game at all! I was in fact making it much harder! That's right, baby! Get him, Tim! Fucking get him, Tim! Tim and Silver Surfer! Tim! What were they cooking, dude? That game sucks too. Like that game's like not great. And yet, it's like hard to find a thing that Tim Follin did that's not like crazy good. Like this, I think a lot of people know about Solstice because of this. And you're like, wow, that's a nice little kind of like medieval theme. I get it. That's like a fun little getting ready to go on an adventure. That's delightful. Oh, what a fun little slightly rinky-dink tune about going on a medieval quest. Tim, no! Tim, no, stop, Tim! Why are you doing swing time? No, we didn't agree to swing time. Oh God, why is it swing? Oh, it's so funky. If you want me to stop, then come stop me. They're like all that good too. Like if you haven't ever, look up Tim Follin or like Jeff Follin on YouTube and just pull up a playlist of all their stuff, because like the classic one that people love to reference, correctly I might add, is Pictionary, because Pictionary has this for a title screen, and it's fucking Pictionary. So like a lot of people know the Pictionary theme is fire. There's one I think about more than others, which is the Move Piece theme, which is just a little jingle that plays as you're moving your piece. Did it need to be the funkiest thing anyone's ever made? No. Is it? You be the judge. just like so extra. There's like a muted fourth being used there. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, and like Ghouls and Ghosts, yeah, a bunch of Commodore 64 stuff. I think it's the title theme of Ghouls and Ghosts for Commodore that's like unbelievable. And then yeah, a lot of people like the SNES Plock Boss theme. I don't personally think it's like the best work of the Fallens, but what I do think is it sounds like something that was in Hotline Miami for the Super Nintendo. And if you've never heard this, tell me if you think this would be in Hotline Miami for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, this is the Plock Boss theme from Super Nintendo. From Super Nintendo. A Super Nintendo did this. A Super Nintendo fried this rice. Can you believe that? Again, like, I'm not a huge Plock head or anything, because again, the game's like pretty mid, but holy shit, man. Like, they did a hotline, but they did Carpenter Brew for the Super Nintendo? But why? No, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Hold on. Ghouls and Ghosts C64 title theme. I think this is the right one. No, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Oh, now I'm blanking. But yeah, so the Plock is like so to the point that this is a remix by Ketsu that I will play a little bit of. And you should check it out. It's pretty good. It's over on YouTube. And this person fully recognized, oh, this is just Carpenter Brew. Like, so much, dude. For the Super Nintendo. So yeah, in conclusion, RoadRunner Death Valley Rally soundtrack is not very good, and I think that the console was capable of better things. I hope everybody has enjoyed my presentation and appreciates my I hope everybody appreciates my presentation on no, really, the Super Nintendo could make some cool shit, dude. And that's not even getting to like the cool sampling stuff they did for like Kirby Superstar or the very unique sound bank for Super Mario RPG that I think is just like absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, Chrono Trigger as well, like, you know, Chrono Trigger from
games, from like one of the most important games ever created, you know? Final Fantasy V, Earthbound, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Earthbound 2, yeah, Mega Man 9, yeah. Earthbound sampled the Beach Boys. I think so much about the Earthbound okay, like way more than I should, but it was such a banger. It's such a good sound effect. Oh man. Yeah. So hey everybody, thanks for hanging out for a little bit more of me working through the unbelievably large list of games I have. We're gonna finish this up Saturday. I don't have too many left. So we're gonna wrap that up Saturday, along with I'll probably be streaming some Puzzle Quest, maybe a few other things. If you aren't already following, please do. I'm Ty. I play a ton of retro stuff. We finished doing a month of 50 bad games nonstop. And I'm just finishing writing up my thoughts so we can get a little script together for a video. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for a pretty special Content Farm Friday, because it's like something I think is actually kind of important. The intro bit might be a little heavy, so I'll have some goofy stuff to make up for it. But they're just selling like really high extract, very addictive chemicals in gas stations in a way that I think is concerning, especially because they're marketing them as like herbal, healthy alternatives to alcohol and other substances and stuff. And it is in fact like an opioid or whatever. So I wanted to talk about that as somebody who's maybe a little more, experienced in the whole messing with stuff at a gas station field. Yeah, feel free if you haven't heard about it yet. They made an addiction potion that they're allowed to sell because it's illegal to have the extract of the kratom leaf in there. But if they take the thing that's normally at 0.001% concentration and raise it up to 1% and then sell that, that's not an extract. It's stupid. See Author Blues later. Bye.